It's come down to this, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 long months of witnessing some of the heaviest hitters in the West Coast. It's time to induct our champion into the big dance that is Capcom Cup. Welcome to the finale of the World Warrior North America West. My name is Vicious, here with my dad, James Chen, to give you all of the action, and I do mean it, all of the action in regards to who is the best in the West. What's going on, James? What can we expect today?
I'm excited here. Obviously, look, we're getting to the point now where we're finding out all of the players who are going to end up at Capcom Cup coming up in February. We've had so many qualifiers from so many different regions. Love the fact that we have this World Warrior, but of course, you and I here, part of the West Coast scene here. This is NA West, and you know, a lot of these players here have been putting in so much work, but you know what? I mean, like, I feel like the person that everybody is talking about lately is Chris CCH coming into this. Now, obviously, we have a lot of great players here. We got Chris CCH, Yanoob, Filipino Man, Nephew, Jot, Mata Oha, JB, Flaquito. These players have been basically dominating throughout West Coast tournaments for quite some time here in the NA region. But as you can see, Chris CCH, I'm assuming right here, seeded number 1. Yeah, seeded number 1. And for a good reason. He's just basically been doing so much damage recently.
Without a doubt, right? Chris has won 4 out of the 5 events in first place. And the one he didn't win was back in the 4th month, getting 30 points, which is still a pretty decent amount, like still making it within like the top 5, top 6 selection, right? He's been absolutely consistent. But you also have the usual suspects when it comes to the West Coast, right? You still have JB, you still have Nephew, you still have Mata Oha, and you still have Yanoob, right? I will say the story has been revolving around the big friend group of the West Coast, which is Chris CCH, Jot, Filipino Man, and Flaquito, right? They've been significantly leveling up their game this year, but now it's a really good hybrid between those that have been very consistent on the West Coast for a very long time into some of the newer generation of Street Fighter V in the West.
Well, I mean, you're talking about people consistent. I mean, veteran player now. I mean, I think it's fair to call him veteran player. Filipino Man, who just basically, I mean, again, he's part of that group, so he's playing with these guys and practicing all the time, but also just such a naturally talented player, one of the strongest here in the West Coast for quite some time. You know, I always like to talk about his crazy Evo run the one year where there was like a bazillion people, and he lost in first round and made it all the way to 9th
Oh, he
place.
sure did. I still remember watching that video and thinking to myself, how is Filipino Man that fast and nimble on his feet? Like, I could barely do that at my age. And I'm like, yo, this guy's like twice my size, like in height. And I'm like, there's no way I can move that way. He's actually ridiculous. But I mean, like, all jokes aside, like we do have some of the gatekeepers here as well, right? We have seen so many people that have been so active at Wednesday night fights and have consistently reached top 3, top 8, and even taking it down week after week, right? One of those being JB. He's been absolutely consistent, but not only in this game, but in every other region too, and in various games too. So it's been very interesting to see that JB hasn't really been the one to take it all the way, but I feel like he shines in these very moments where it's like, all right, well, it's time for the big top 8. I'm going to show you what I'm really about and show you exactly why I'm still one of the most consistent Street Fighter V players in the world.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, Nephew, you know, running with the Colleen. Colleen obviously did get nerfed a little bit in the definitive patch here, but you know, Nephew's still very strong. He, you know, busy graduating from school and stuff like that. You know, just kind of like, you know, some small subtle things that he's taking care of. But I think we're going right into our first match here. And yeah, the story of course is Chris CCH, and not only Chris CCH, but Luke as well. Luke's such a strong character. Yanoob has been playing a lot in the PlayStation Fight Night events and has been doing really well, consistently top 3 at those events. So he's definitely has a lot of that online practice, but love the fact that he's stuck with Manat this whole entire time.
Yeah, and she's been getting a lot of love, surprisingly, on all fronts, too. Like, not even just in the realm of a CPT event, but also within Street Fighter League. Like, both Japan and EU have pretty decent Minot representatives. And I gotta say, like, this is a matchup that is actually quite familiar. And I'm hoping Yanoob has been, you know, in the grinder against characters like Luke, because this is going to be very much so a Luke-heavy bracket. But going into it right now, doing pretty good for himself, right? Getting a recall and doing a lot of chip damage primarily, but that just revs Luke up even more, right? Getting him into trigger mode, that's going to be very difficult to handle. Oh, especially when the orb is behind you. Yep, you're gonna see the Rock Smasher now. Sandblaster.
Oh yeah, Sandblaster.
Another Rock Smasher.
Yeah, you can see how good, and you know, this is the scariest thing about Luke, right? I mean, Monat wants to fight from a distance, but Luke can fight from the distance with that Sandblaster, but he's also good at rushing you down when he's close up. So, you know, this is going to be a tough match for Yanoob, but Yanoob right now doing pretty well here. Obviously the V-trigger out here, but he's got one hit into super, and if CCH uses a V-reversal or anything like that and loses his V gauge, there it is. Oh no, but Yanoob spent all of that meter. He doesn't have the chip anymore.
No, you did what? No, he could have done.
That was a V reversal. That was supposed to be a V reversal. He was playing a V reversal and it came out as the overhead. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. But I would think to myself, maybe you could do like, I don't know, maybe try to do like an orb recall, but either way, I think you would have been punished regardless, because if your recall is too far, I don't think there's any way of you like escaping a three-framer.
And here we go back to this again, and yeah, you can see how the Sandblaster just nullifies a lot of the orb placement there. Just kind of sends it away and really prevents Monat from even getting anything started here. Chris CCH backing off a little bit, just trying to get away from that orb space.
We're seeing the Sandblasters really come into play from the mid-range, and again, as soon as the recall is there, Chris CCH had preemptively thrown out the Sandblaster, just as you mentioned earlier, right? This orb throw out so far from Yanoob has at least pushed him out of the corner, so that's going to be just fine, right? He's not really looking for any sort of like damage off of it right now, but at this range, yeah, now he gets to dictate the pace a little bit better. You do get to see the heavy impact cancel into V-trigger. Now what happens? He's backing away from it again, and as soon as he sees Yanoob detonate the orb, he's going right into V-trigger, so it's totally understandable. Chris CCH just racking up the damage little by little. Oh my god, don't press the button.
Yeah, but he's got the trigger activated. No, he actually jumped into the drill, and he's got the V reversal, but that's such a smart play. Wow, did he really just recover in time to punish that?
He sure did.
Is that a thing?
He sure did. Yeah, that was a... that was a lot of recovery. And it was a counter hit, too. Out of everything that Luke could have contested with, that is a stand jab at 5 frames, and it still countered Monat. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, because look, I was about to say it was a smart play from Chris CCH, because obviously Monat V-trigger, still one of the scariest V-triggers in the game, still one of the best comeback tools that exist. And so he forced Yanoob to use the V-reversal, so that just eliminated the comeback factor completely. But never mind, it was actually a punish setup on the V-reversal. Oh man. Go back to this neutral game over here, and I believe this is first to 3 the entire way, or is it are we starting at first to 2 here?
I'd imagine it'd be like a first to 3 if it's like a traditional top 8, right?
Yeah.
Oh god, he should be dead. Yeah, spending the bar he had to at that point. Yanoob had to secure the W, at least within that round. And I gotta say, like, there are moments where Yanoob has very, very solid beginning moments or beginning parts of the matches, but as soon as Chris CCH gets started, it's such a struggle, I feel like, for Yanoob. But look at this, like, he's not necessarily trying to get within like range to get any of these box rings right. He's been playing at this range pretty consistently and getting decent amount of damage against Chris, but look at him just firing away. Chris CCH not afraid. He's just throwing a bunch of Sandblasters, trying to prevent Yanoob from even throwing out orb or even that standing heavy punch. It's been such a big deterrent to Chris CCH from moving forward.
Yeah, and that's one of the tricky things too, is like, obviously, I mean, it's hard for any character to jump over and punish Sandblaster like a true fireball, but you know, Monat's jump is kind of floaty, so it's going to be even harder for her to be able to get that kind of a punish in there. But here we go, got him low, has all this meter here. Can he drain all this health? And this is the power. You're just whittling. Oh, he went for the reset.
You need the reset. There's no way to get like a full combo into the critical art at that much damage scaling, so going for the reset was one of those obvious reads from Chris CCH, and he was going to be pressing, or he was going to be holding back the whole time. Yeah. And now it's just such a struggle too. Even if you have the critical art, it's not going to deter Chris CCH from moving in. But I think had he gone for like an anti-air critical art, it would have killed him.
Yeah, but you know, obviously trying to do an anti-air DP input, sometimes you get caught off guard. Trying to do anti-air super means you have to just have been anticipating that the whole time.
Sure.
There you go, plus on that. And again, Monat has the 3 frame, but no range on that light kick. So a lot of times, you know, in the situations where she'd like to be hitting the 3 frames, she doesn't really have access to it.
That was a pretty neat punish on the charge of a V-skill one from CCH, just utilizing V-skill 2 from Unoo. That was cool. Gets the forward throw, still gets to maintain the orbs. He gets to apply pressure by throwing one out and still walking slowly. And again, all this pressure afterwards. CCH really trying to thread the needle with that crouching jab.
And there's the advantage right there of that 2-bar V trigger. Spends one of them on the V reversal in that situation because we'll still get that full V trigger later on, but he might not even need it. He might just be able to finish. Now, obviously, Unoo has that meter for the super here. Still has one orb. Gets it. No, doesn't go for the super. Tries to go for the shimmy instead. But no reason for Chris CCH.
There it is. I don't know if it's going to be enough damage. I genuinely don't.
Is this going to kill? It is! There it is! Unoo
I'm so scared for Minot's damage, man. Her damage output on super is like, it's just okay. I mean, it's 330, sure, but it's like sometimes the way that it's like dispersed as it gets to like the finale of it, it's like, how many hits is this? How much scaling's involved? But after one hit, like I get it. Unoo tying it all up 1-1.
Oh man,
I got it.
Yeah, and just as a confirmation to everybody out there, this is first to 3 the entire way. But I'm still like, was that just a single hit confirm, or did Unoo hit the button, see Chris CCH hit the button, and said, you know what? Either we trade, or if I hit him, I just super. Let's go, because it definitely worked out for him.
Oh. Good crush counter on the roundhouse, and it sends him so far away too. Chris CCH, no, he was well within the range of like any sort of medium, and Unoo went for the explosion instead of the recall.
Yeah, and I think he was probably trying to go for medium, but actually, or heavy punch, and just came out with the overhead. Here we go. Yep, uses the EX version, keeps the orb still sitting there. Here we go, activation time. Unoo gets out of there though, even getting reset out of the air. A lot of the time that works out because the opponent ends up whiffing something afterwards. And that gives you the chance to land and get away. So we're back to this full screen again. And yeah, you see how Unoo is, you know, just drilling to land after the Sandblaster because Minot's jump too floaty to be able to get the full punish. And speaking of, look at that whiff punish from Chris CCH.
What a tech from Unoo, especially in that situation off of the back medium punch. That's such a dangerous spot. It could lead to so much damage, but he called it right. And now he gets rewarded with nothing, actually. After the trigger activation, he's like, trying to apply pressure at Chris CCH's EX rising low. Actually, ridiculous. Man, Chris CCH with the right defensive maneuvers, I gotta say. He's not forcing himself in these awkward situations. He's taking some of the big gambles, and Unoo is actually falling.
Yeah, I mean, Chris CCH kind of got the read that Unoo, once it gets that activated, you know, the Minots really want to make sure they get their money's worth out of that. What an EXDP again by Chris CCH, but they're always trying to make sure they get their money's out of that V trigger, so Chris CCH just read that. Oh, too slow, a little bit too slow on that shimmy.
He just wanted to get his orb back, I guess, but still.
Dashing forward. Oh, man. And Chris CCH, see, this is what I mean. That round right there was a perfect example of what I mentioned earlier, that Chris just has that ability to, I mean, Luke, I should say, has that ability to rush you down when he finds the right situation. And that one was just pure offense round.
Yeah, there were a couple of mistakes, I feel like, from Unoo's side, like not being able to get any certain punishes off of that in the corner. I think there was a sequence where he was able to possibly get like a punish on one of the knuckles. I might have missed it, but even if you're charging like the light punch knuckle, it's still going to be punishable, right? I think it was like Unoo who was kind of prioritizing getting the orb back instead of trying to get any sort of damage off of it. But either way, he's gonna have to hold that already into the corner. And just like that, yeah, plus scenario where you have to guess what's coming through afterwards.
Ooh, I think, pretty sure that knee was plus. Unoo challenged anyway, but there's the throw into the stun. Get the V skill charged up, not gonna really need it all. Gets the hit, and now Chris CCH match point.
Pretty consistent thus far. Chris CCH again having the big opener and just being able to ride that momentum. Does it again. Does get the shoulder tackle into the corner. This is exactly where he loves to apply. Yeah, he does get the shimmy and avoids the orb altogether. That's so slick. Chris CCH all over it. And I'd imagine he has so much practice too. We just forgot to mention it entirely, right? He gets so much practice off of like YouTube as well as Filipino men.
True, yeah. Yeah, he's fought against, oh no, that was like an execution error right there. I mean, obviously he wanted to go for the reset, but I didn't see any orbs fly or anything. There was like, nothing happened. It was very weird.
too much of a deficit right now for Yanoob. I feel like as long as he doesn't get hit while his gray life is coming back up, I said it, and I cursed him. I cursed him.
Yeah, and you got to be careful now. Both of them at a point right now where a single hit and a super can take it. Oh, look at that.
He's too far.
He was too greedy. You knew probably should have just went for a crouching strong into super. Unfortunately, he went for maximum damage off of the heavy kick. Was too far away, and so Chris CCH is going to take it. Oh.
Space was just unfortunate. Even Valle couldn't improve on that one. He saw the face, but yeah, that was unfortunate, man. I think there was an opportunity there for Yanoob to go nice and easy with a confirm off of like what 2 hits and be able to potentially take it away from Chrissy CH. It's just not how it went through. He went for the roundhouse thinking he was going to be close enough to get it. You do get like the opponent standing up, but either way, like if you have the confirm, you just got to go for it.
And remember, everybody's starting on the winner side of this bracket here. So the first 4 matches that we see are all going to be on the winner side of the bracket. So, you know, obviously Yanoob has a little bit more work to do in the loser side of the bracket. But again, Chris CCH moving on. And, you know, the next match that's coming up is Filipino Man versus Nephew. And, you know, Nephew has been dominating for so long during Street Fighter V, and in fact has been killing so many people here on the West Coast. But Filipino Man, who hasn't really had a full presence in Street Fighter V, like started early and then just kind of like faded away a little bit, but then he came back and was instantly right back in the mix of things, especially with his girl Rose coming back into the lineup, and it's definitely fit him like a glove, and that is a character that he definitely has found a connection with.
Yeah, and this isn't going to be the first time they've met each other in tournament by any means, right? There have been numerous instances where they've had different kind of characters played off against each other as well. But even within the realm of like Street Fighter League, CPT, this is going to be a very, very common matchup between the two.
So Nephew has moved to the Luke here. Interesting. Now, I know Nephew's also been dabbling with characters like Ed and such, so, you know, might be trying to look for that alternate solution from, you know, Colleen. But the problem is here, look, Filipino Man, we talked about how Chris CCH had a lot of Menat experience. Obviously, that means Filipino Man has a ton of Luke experience, but not only that, but Filipino Man has told me before that he actually believes that Rose fights Luke really well.
Oh yeah, they've been pretty firm believers of that, and I feel like, you know, we've kind of seen that also from Japan with Urio kind of facing off against Street Fighter Luke Season 5. But overall, Nephew is not going to be deterred by that. That is a counter hit. I think Filipino Man might have thought the roundhouse would have whiffed. I think maybe if he had did like a stand block and maybe not pressed the button, maybe he could have, but easily out of there with the trigger.
Yeah, out of the corner. That's the important thing right there.
Especially with a Soul Spark behind it. Anti-air is there. Yeah, very tough situation to guess from. Nephew called it correctly with the tech late like that. Yep, side switch.
Does get what a reaction to the get that anti-air, because I thought, I mean, if Nephew had blocked that, I swear it didn't seem like the Filipino Man gave him that much time to confirm, but what a great reaction.
It's also kind of wild between the two, Nephew and Filipino Man. It's actually been back and forth between every single North America West that they've been a part of. But as it stands right now, I think, you know, I think Anton actually, or Filipino Man, might have the lower record in terms of like win percentages against Nephew throughout the World Warrior sets.
Yeah, I mean, look, Nephew is obviously one of the smartest players that we have here on the West Coast. Before Chris CCH really started, you know, asserting himself as the strongest here. Oh, look at that, stealing those turns after the knee. He didn't even go for the 3-framer. He went for a much slower button because he knew Filipino Man was going to respect him. And there we go. But, I mean, that just shows to what I was trying to say. Nephew's one of the smartest players, and previous to Chris CCH, Nephew was considered the strongest in the West Coast with that Colleen.
Without a doubt. You see that transition so far from Nephew kind of paying off, but Filipino Man still trying to stave off from the corner. And that's so difficult. You've seen two attempts at a Soul Spiral. He's getting stuffed out by the Sandblasters back to back. There's the double punish against the Fireball. Well timed by Filipino Man. Excellent reads thus far. Anti-air is there. And now gets the throw
again.
Couldn't guess it this time.
Yeah, and you know what? Rose has a pretty floaty jump too, you know? So the fact that she was able to get over there and punish that Sandblaster attempt tells the kind of read that Filipino Man had. Nice V-shift. That's the dangerous thing about going for those cross-ups in the corner. The opponent can usually just V-shift out of there afterwards, but look at this! Big damage in the super! Is this going to kill?
No way. No way it's not gonna kill. I guess correctly? All right, well, so did Nephew again. Getting the throw bait against Filipino Man, and that was, to be fair, there was a lot of scaling involved, and it was at the Magic Pixel. But either way, Filipino Man just had one life to live, one guess to make.
You had that calculated down to the pixel. You were like looking at it, and like I saw the Matrix brain. You know, you saw all the code, and you're like, he's gonna survive with a pixel. And you're like, yeah, it's not gonna kill.
I had to pull out my abacus on that one and do some quick maths.
Oh, Jesus. Oh man.
Everybody's like, what's an abacus?
Yeah, I know, right?
Jeez. Don't worry about it, chat.
Like abacus, isn't that like one of the codes to get like 30 lives in like some sort of Genesis game or something?
Well, one of the characters, one of the players here are gonna need it. I feel like I'm not gonna tell you who right now because it's looking like being locked down the corner is not one way to live your life. Okay, that was so sick. So the intention behind it was actually. That was amazing, Filipino Man. But the defense, the intuition from Nephew was like, you know what? I could just V-shift this. That was so smart. That was so smart from both ends. My God, that was some really good back and forth between Filipino Man and Nephew. What a call out to that strategy. I have not seen anybody attempt to block it. And Nephew brought the question. He's like, why block it when I can V-shift it, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mentioned it before, but Nephew, you know, one of the smartest players, the decisions that he's making. And look at this. Here comes the rush down. Okay, Filipino Man does check it this time. But again, Luke, that medium target combo, one of the nicest whiff punish tools that exists in the game. And it's so nice to have. From any direction, you can be walking backwards, you can be walking forward, from neutral, whatever. Just hit medium punch, and it just kind of does the whiff punishing for you.
Sure. But we're talking about the defense now from Nephew as well. Despite being in V-trigger, he's actually navigated himself around a lot of the V-trigger pressure that Filipino Man had presented, which is pretty impressive, right? He didn't have V-shift to save him, so he does have that natural in-tune defense as a top player. But Filipino Man, what happens though, if you're within range of Rose's normal, right? Eventually, she's going to outbox you, I feel like. Nephew with Luke, again, Luke being so superb in the mid-range, as you talked about earlier, having a middle range button with medium punch to be able to whiff punish so many different normals so easily. Filipino Man had to think outside the box and use some of the riskier normals to get some of the big hits.
It was basically like 3 roundhouses in a row that he hit Nephew with, and he's still continuing that, trying to take advantage of her range. She's got good range on a lot of her buttons, and so that's something that you're going to want to use against Luke. A nice checking Nephew dashing forward. What a backdash by Nephew as well. Activation, here we go. The pressure doesn't get the whiff punish that time, a little too late, unfortunately. But again, Filipino Man, you see with all these preemptive heavy kicks. But now here comes Nephew. He's got the corner and the throw. Oh,
that's not real. He wasn't able to do that. There's the pretty much invulnerable EX Soul Spiral.
Didn't punish that in time. Can't believe Luke blocked in time. But here we go. Filipino Man needs to just to find one hit. He's probably going to want to check. Wow! Nephew went for a jump. Interesting decision. I mean, that was a very strange range jump, although he has dashed there, and that is when Filipino Man has thrown out those heavy kicks. Maybe he was predicting a heavy kick and going to just jump over that like a fireball.
Possibly. I will say these last couple of instances in the quarter, Nephew has really made his offense kind of ambiguous to the point where Filipino Man has guessed incorrectly. But there are some really good shining moments from Filipino Man where his offense was able to get him out of dire situations and not have to suffer the fate of most players that face off against Luke in the corner. So that was actually really well done from Filipino Man outside of the corner to survive that way offensively. Really, like, it's tough when Luke kind of gives you some of these looks, sorry, no pun intended, some of these looks in the corner, and you're thinking to yourself, well, he's going to put himself plus, he's going to walk up and hit me with a fake trap, whatever, he's going to hit me with a knee. But when they dash up, that's not real. You actually have Luke in a -2 scenario. It's not a start anymore after a throw into a forward dash.
Right, but the tricky thing is he's also got that meaty as well, so you just have to be careful.
Yes.
Like if you're just hitting a button because you're expecting him to dash and he throws up that fierce punch, I mean, you're just gonna eat that straight to the face, and that, you know, that's a little bit of, that's the mind game right there. That's the mix-up.
Oof. I love that. Just firing away with the scarf. That standing heavy punch, just catching Nephew right at the right time. Standing light kick.
Oh yeah, punish. A little too close on that one. And here we go, activation. And this is where Luke gets very, very scary here, but Filipino Man has been able to navigate it. But look at this. Again, Luke's V-trigger doesn't go anywhere. He still has the full... Whoops, that wasn't what he wanted, and that's going to hurt him pretty badly. Unfortunately, Filipino Man didn't have the EX, to bounce him off the wall.
The soul bind, right?
Yeah, for the combo extension.
Yeah, I got you.
Just gonna call it the soul throw because that's just, I mean, that's her old DP. Yep, see,
Oh, gets it this time.
Yep, yep, reacting to the dash that time and catching the forward dash. So there you go. There's a perfect example of that.
That's wild, too. That's not even a punish. That was actually kind of sick.
Bad confirm right there from Nephew, meaning Filipino Man gets a little bit of a damage, a push away from the corner. Ooh. There we go, blocks the sweep, nice. What a tech by Filipino Man there. Ooh.
I like how liberal Filipino Man has been with some of these sweeps as well, showing that he's not afraid to throw it. Look at him! You see what I'm talking about? He catches Nephew walking backwards again. Woo.
And there it is, the classic. See that 5-frame
Do it
jab,
again!
though, but it slides forward. Yeah, he is not scared to throw out these sweeps at all, and they have been working really well for him.
Oof.
Oh, EX gets the knockdown, sets up the orb, tries to set up the...
My God!
Wake up, sweep! Oh, what side? What side? And Nephew, that time, caught in the middle of his V-trigger, no ability to get the V-shift, so that was a true guess for him. And there it is, Filipino Man going up 2-1.
I've never seen the Urian card from the tarot set ever. That's actually pretty cool. I've never seen it. I didn't know he was in armor. That's pretty cold, man. Yeah, no, I mean, like, go ahead.
I was about to say, I actually have those cards, like physically, so I'm gonna have to go look for the Urian one.
James, listen, I'm a collector of swords. If you ever decide to get rid of it, I will pay a pretty penny for it. Anyways, going into
Shoutouts to I think it was Fugu, you know Fugu, Doc
yeah,
Fugu. He was the one who got me one and gave it to me at doing an Evo Japan, dude. So yeah, that guy's the homie, man. He's the homie.
So cool. Blessed. Must be nice, James. Going into it now, again, we do have the fully stocked up trigger, and it's an excellent time to kind of use it, but oh boy.
Oh, but he drops the combo. That was a big opportunity for Nephew. You can see Filipino Man playing very carefully. Good block, good tech, and there we go. I'm not sure what that slide was about, but Nephew's like, thank you very much. Now you're dead.
Yeah, even on hit, if you're at the wrong angle, the wrong distance off of a hit slide, you're definitely going to be at least -4. If it's like point blank or even close to point blank, you will get punished. But even on a block one, man, that's far away. Look at this, Nephew again on the offensive. Sandblast, Rising Rocket, no back medium punch here. Throw. And he delayed it!
And there it is. There's the danger of trying to check that dash. And so Nephew read it this time and said, you know what, you're going to try to check it. So here's the meaty, the suppressor, the perfect Nephew, tying it up 2-2.
And that's tough. Back medium punch leaves you in a +2 scenario. What happens is you have to guess correctly with the thrower, 3-framer. It's really, really tough to differentiate between the two, having access to both, because it's just so powerful being +2. And adding on top of that to the throw mix, when you have suppressor, it's pretty much good luck trying to guess this 3-way mix. It really
I know.
is.
Giving a character a tool specifically to punish throws maximally like that is such a, I mean, God. Again, shimmy is the name of the game in here, but they gave you an actual move that kind of does it for you, and when you're right, gives you this cool slowdown so that you can get the even more damage. Woo. Man,
it's a little rough, but that's just how the game goes, man. What's crazy is like you could do another throw after the back medium punch. You could do a crouching medium punch if you wanted to. You could double it over with another back medium punch, but then you won't be within range for anything else other than a crouch medium punch. But
I also see Mr. Oilman, Oil King in the chat, I should say. I almost called him a Mega Man character. Shout outs to Levy. Good seeing you here in the chat, hanging out, watching scoping out some potential opponents here.
Yeah, I mean, he's already made it into the big dance. Big congrats to Oil King. What up, brother? Hope you're doing well. You see the full spiral. And that actually interrupted a big EX. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. With the meaty setup.
I don't think he was trying to go for that DP. It probably was just supposed to be a fireball, but you know, that's the classic. We've been dealing with that since the beginning of Street Fighter. And there we go. Off of that with DP, Filipino Man with a ton of damage and at match point now.
And he closes it out. He does have full critical art almost built up, but now he spends it early for the EX Soul Spark.
Going for the cards now. Okay, yeah. Instead of the satellite, yeah.
I do like that also. Just having that available, really.
Oh, nice. Get the anti-air. Oh, the fake, yeah. But nice autocorrect DP. However, doesn't matter. Filipino Man will take that damage. Wow, did he just do the Goken? Did he just do the Goken from Street Fighter 4? Sweep into sweep?
That's the classic. That is the Velociraptor special.
Yep.
Oh, you got yourselves a red card. Could be seeing a little bit more extra damage.
Yeah, but he doesn't need that much. He just needs one solid hit. And again, it's the sweep. Filipinos, man, use of the sweep. This match was just immaculate. I mean, the fact that he was able to use it so often, not just in whiff punish situations like that, but just in reads and Hail Marys. And he was like, you know what? If I get punished by Luke, it might just be a counter sweep. I'm willing to risk that to keep nephew at bay and a little more honest and neutral. And it really, really paid off.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And even in that last scenario, going for the sweep while having V-Trigger wasn't going to be a bad bet anyway. Imagine if he had V-Trigger too, right? Being able to get a crush counter sweep and then a full juggle combo after that, or an OTG combo after that, would have been absolutely ridiculous. But we do want to remind you folks at home to come through and, you know, support some of the players that have been going through it month after month and providing you some of the ways to kind of play some of these matchups over the Matcherino, right? Be sure to claim the code to get a quarter donation, a 25-cent donation for a lot of these players. And big shout outs to everybody that's been contributing. Punk the God coming through right now with $20. I see that. I see it updated pretty much on the docket too. Big ups to Punk. I know, I think Punk was just streaming not too long ago as well, but everybody that's been going
you
through
know,
it too.
I do this every time I'm on a stream on an event with Matcherino. I'm just gonna show you guys how easy this is. I'm right now, click the link that was in the chat, come over here, log in. I use my Google, so I've logged into my Google over here.
You're not making it sound easy. That's a lot of steps there, brother.
Hey, whoa, they hit me with a new terms of service over here.
Yeah,
so,
you're lying, man.
I got bodied. Oh no. No, okay, claim code.
To you how easy
there we go.
Is.
Claim code. I put it in there. I'm in there. I got it now. Man.
We're gonna need to see proof. Can we see the list of all contributors? Can we see James Chen's name in there? Is that possible? It's already. Oh
yeah, it's right there. You go. There you go.
Nice work.
It's so easy to do. So there you go. So if you guys can actually, help contribute to this, be very, very much appreciated. So easy to do. You can see there's 22 codes remaining right now. And again, one of the things about this is that Matcherino supports so many events. And so supporting Matcherino, supporting this event, creating yourself a Matcherino account means that you're supporting so many different FGC events. So, if you do not have a Matcherino account, definitely consider giving yourself one and helping contribute to this event.
And this is going to be very interesting going into the next matchup, right? We have Jot versus Mata Oha. Jot has actually been switching through to this Cody for this last two and a half months probably. Not only running it in the World Warrior events, but also in some of the big CLG tournaments with Run It Thursdays. Again, Jot has been proving his worth with this character in a very high success rate as well. And it's not going to be the first time they've played against each other. They played against each other, I think, in the 4th month in the losers semifinals, and Jot barely was able to take it down against Mata Oha 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, I mean, you guys you talked about, you know, the friend group here and how much they all help each other practice and everything like that. Also learning all these different, you know, high-level characters. Cody, definitely one of those characters that is kind of reaching to that point where he is one of the biggest threats for Capcom Cup. And so, you know, having somebody learn all these characters, but the air reset is going to give Mata'oha the hit, and then the overhead. Here we go into the throw. That's the mix-up afterwards, and just walks in for another throw.
Oh, he has to guess now. Oh, what?
He got frame trapped?
I don't know what he thought it was gonna be. I genuinely don't know what Mata'oha thought it was gonna be.
Well, I mean, that goes to the round for Jot, so he'll take it. He's like, you know what? Fine by me. Ooh. Wow, tried to walk forward and just Mata'oha just checking him, and here we go.
That's so scary too. The more you hit Cody, the more he comes back with even more damage. But this is not too bad for Mata'oha, right? Still trying to keep Jot. Oh my god, did I speak too soon? He was charging that knuckle, yes sir. He got the bounce off the wall.
Got the bounce, yeah. But here we go. No meter for V-trigger activation off of that target combo. Wow, he just ate the kick. And here we go, throw. And now we've got the V-trigger activation potential over here. This is the scary part right now.
Oh, he can't get out of this. If he blocks everything, yeah, it's -2. Oh my god, he actually ate the full thing. No, John actually could have killed. He's dropping it. Oh my god, and Mata'oha's getting hit randomly.
Oh my god, he almost fell on that knife as well, and then just checks him low, just goes for the ankles because he had one more tiny little chunk of V-trigger to keep it safe, so he went for it, and it paid off.
Yeah, even with the dash low EX, he was going to be safe no matter what. And that's just the problem, though. Like, you still get to apply a frame trap after that with the V-trigger. It's so scary to even think about. Oh, boy.
He tried to double dash punch right there, steal a turn. Oh, that's going to hit. Yeah. Okay.
The grand blow was meaty enough.
Yeah, but this knife right here is so scary to deal with.
The whip punish is there!
Look at that range.
Yeah, you get so much extended range, and being able to extend your combos with so much damage as well, just tacking on little by little, but those really do add up. No, that could have been a bigger whiff punish. Wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, interesting decision by Mata'oha right there. You saw him committing to having the life lead right there. Uses one of the bars for the knee reversal, but he still has the ability to build up again.
Was that?
He just needs one more hit.
I don't even know if that was meaty enough, but still, Mata'oha gets the W. That was actually so scary too. Jot sitting on 2 loaded bars. Any of those could have been Zonk Knuckles. Heck, both of them could have been Zonk Knuckles. Mata'oha still able to slide in there with a dash and catch Jot slipping.
Yeah, basically dash up with that 3-frame right there, and a nice call on that one. Just kind of reading that Jot was probably expecting, you know, Mata'oha was thinking, oh, you think I'm going to play a little bit defensive, so I'm going to find this little forward dash over here and catch you with the 3 frames. And Mata'oha's spacing with the standing heavy punch has been immaculate so far.
Ooh.
Just hitting at max range, but not that time. And Jot with the big whip punish.
A little bit problematic.
Once again, that standing heavy punch, but close enough for the punish. Wow, nicely done. And catching low, and he didn't even have any way to, well, actually that was the EX one, so it was going to be fine. Here we go. Good spacing.
Ooh. The throw against Mata'oha. Activation off of the sway afterwards. Catching the lows, and now look at this. Gonna apply pressure. Excellent V reversal.
Yeah.
You won't have the comeback factor, though. I don't think you'll have enough. You're fine. You get a meaty after that.
But he's doing well with that V reversal. Doesn't want to deal with that mix up. Looks, it might just pay off if he can find one more hit, but it's so scary. Wow!
He jumped, and Mata'oha actually got that range with jump fierce. Jot just let him jump for free.
Yeah, and I think Jot thought he wasn't going to hit a button, so I think he was trying to hit a button on Mata'oha's landing, but Balrog has that jump fierce, which reaches so far in the air. Caught him while crouching, so there you go. Mata'oha right now trying 1 round away from going up 2-0.
I still think it's kind of funny that the animation on jump fierce and the hitbox around it is just a giant brick. Like your traditional like jump fierces on a ball are like different, like they're angled, right? But this one is just a brick, dude.
Dude, again, like the standing fears for Mata Oha has just been doing so well, but there's the standard target combo into the back throw, so now we've got you in the corner here, and you've got to deal with this knife, but the whip punish with
What
the
knife?
EX dash punch.
Man's got horseshoes under those gloves. Are you kidding me? What knife? Didn't need to worry about any of that. Ooh. -4. Yeah, he's still able to punish it because he has extended range off with a jab.
And there you go. You see, EX Zonk is a problem when you block it, and that's why Mata Oha is just choosing to V reversal it every single time because he just doesn't want to deal with that mix-up. And he's about to get that V trigger activation anyway. There it is. He has a V trigger available for him, but he's still gonna go for the V reversal. He's got the super, but he misses. Oh no!
Oh no!
Not like this.
If Mata Oha goes for the critical art raw, I wonder if Jock gets. Oh no, not like this, God. Not like this. Even if you're full screen, you should know better. You should absolutely know better. Mata Oha takes down 2-0. Not even from that distance are you allowed to throw a tornado. Because this guy, the Raging Buffalo, will definitely plow right through.
He is. Balrog was like, you know what? I've had too much experience doing full screen supers and losing to projectiles in Super Turbo, so I'm just changing it to one big punch instead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he says that for pretty much every iteration of his like gameplay. Right? Anytime he has a super, he has like the rush punch super. It's like, man, why am I spending so much time punching you over and over again? Why don't I just hit you really hard? Just like in the skit, it's like, who's this guy? I punch really hard. It's the guy who cannot kick. Yeah. Well, welcome, Balrog. That's a classic.
The Juan punch, as PR Balrog used to call it. So, oh man, shout outs to PR Rog, another one of the classic veteran West Coast players.
Mm-hmm. I miss him.
We all do. We all do.
Mata Oha 2-0 so far against Jot after some very critical mistakes from the side of the Cody. But Jot now on the offensive, harassing with the standing medium kick, which is such an excellent counter-poking tool against Mata Oha, and such great suppression out of it too. Not even trying to contest against it so far, not even trying to whiff punish it either.
Oh, challenge right there after the medium kick, and yeah, Jot tried to steal some turns, it looked like.
Oh, that was sick.
Good reach. Yeah, good reach with that standing medium punch, and here he comes. Activation time. Time for guessing. The throw should be able to do it. Uses the back throw just to make sure. And there you go. Jot getting one round here. Trying to get at least one game on the board here. Doesn't want to go down 3-0 to Mata Oha. Mata Oha. I mean, again, you know, every time Cody's on screen, I talk about how good his normals are, that standing medium kick and stuff, but Mata Oha, Balrog, obviously with the dash punch, really just, oh, that's punishable. He went for it.
This is looking pretty one-sided so far from John. Maybe he just wanted the 0-2 deficit. Maybe he gets like a passive power-up when he's down a certain amount of games.
Oh, the check, counter hit combo, confirm. And now just one more mix-up. Tries to go for the shimmy. Instead, eats a face full of dash punch right here. And guess what? You're in the corner. And this is how it starts.
Oh my God. Yeah, nice and easy. And it's not too easy to kind of get these anti-airs with standing heavy punch, I feel like, against Cody, because like in sharper angles, he is susceptible. But this has got to be plot armor Jot coming through. I will say, like, the power of friendship prevails overall in most of the animes, I feel like. So, again, plot armor Jot getting a W on the board. Mata Oha looking kind of shook. This is a very different set of characteristics we're seeing from Mata Oha.
Yeah, I mean, that jump at the end there was very uncharacteristic, I felt like. But there it is, standing just outside the dash punch range, getting the whiff punish. Not easy to do. But that's why you see Jot walking backwards, because he's trying to get to that space. It's either that or try to get close enough to punish the dash punch. But instead, again, eating another face full of dash punch here. Oh, waking up with the jab into the EX Zonk. Getting halfway across the stage as a result with that wall bounce.
That was interesting. The neutral jump fierce with a knife. I haven't seen that normal.
I don't know how Cody lands on his feet when he does that move, dude.
It's like a swan dive, right? You would expect him to like belly flop on the floor. That should be a new thing in fighting games. If you ever like commit to a normal, you just belly flop on the floor?
Oh!
You're not recovering from that though. John was like, you know, that's a good idea. Let me try to test that out with a jump. Mato was like, get down here. Like, no, not today. Excellent screw up with that from Mato.
Yeah, I mean, at least when Alex does his dive, you know, he has to land and tumble a little bit. But, you know, what is going on with Cody here? He's just like face first, and he lands on his feet gracefully.
Like all cats stuck in this corner. This is the kind of pressure we've seen from Mato Oha that's got him into these big dances, that has got him consistently into top 8s, even top 3s. But again, afterwards, he knows when to hold him and when to fold him, except for this one moment. He actually just got caught with the zonk knuckle. And to be fair, everybody gets caught with the zonk knuckle.
I mean, you know, MVC 2 days, it was everybody gets shot by Cable. In this game, it's everyone gets zonked by Cody, dude.
It's true. That's true. That's really true, actually. Oh, big counter hit. You're actually dead.
Oh, look at this. Dead? Yeah, for sure. And there we go. Jot, if he takes this round, he ties it up 2-2. So again, one round at a time, one game at a time, man. No matter how far down you are. Oh, tried to do a sway there, maybe trying to predict a dash punch. Didn't quite get it. Didn't have the right prediction, but there it is. Everybody gets zonked. Damage here, gets the juggle all the way to the corner, close to stun. Never mind, it is a stun. Jot for some damage here. He has 1 meter, spends 1 bar, close to death. And the throw.
Damage! My God, the damage output off of that is so ridiculous. And I feel like even if Jot like applied pressure with meaties instead of the throw, I think he would have built himself just enough bar to go into another EX zonk, which you're forced to guess off of again. Right. So that was really smart overall. Again, plot armor Jot, it's a real thing. Look it up. He's got himself in a tie position. I wouldn't be surprised if this is exactly how it went within their matchup in month number 5 for World Warrior West.
The comeback, oh god, the whiff punish from, I had talked about Mato Oha placing that standing heavy punch so well, and so now Jot very cognizant of it. Oh, touched the button, got counter hit, backdash in that situation just to get out of there and reset back to the neutral and tried to approach after Mato Oha landed from the jump, but that's the classic land from the jump and immediately hit a button. Catches a lot of people off guard.
Down. Being safe enough, but still now the activation from John. He does have trigger, so he's going to be very difficult to kind of keep still. That range is going to be so detrimental. He beat him out nice and easy. That's going to be looking like match point shot again with the classic. He threw out a normal. Mato Oha thought he was going to get a whip punish, or at least a plus frame scenario. Jot recovered just in time and got the neutral jump. Man, that was a sick opening damage. Crouching medium punch into the zone. This is looking all Jot, James.
Yeah, it was a whiff OS right there that would have missed if Mato Oha hadn't pressed the button. So it was just kind of one of those auto combos if it connects. And now Jot with a good life lead has the anti-air. And yeah, you had mentioned that Mato Oha looked a little shook. And it's still there. Okay, this time not letting him go for the neutral jump all the way to the corner. This is huge. This is the kind of momentum that you're looking for. But now you got to guess. And good guess. He just blocked. But again, he's still jumping.
And like, I get it, jumping against Cody, but your character doesn't even have a cross-up.
Right. It's interesting. I'm not sure where Mato Oha is, you know, what he's looking for with a lot of those jumps over there. But now there it goes. The knife is gone. So immediately Mato Oha tries to get some aggression in there, trying to build meter. He wants an EX. He wants that EX. Here we go. Spends it right away, goes for the throw, but instead you get some, but that was a level 1 zonk. That was a level 1, so no wall bounce, otherwise that would have been it, but the stand medium kick is gonna finish the job, and Zot with the 0-2 comeback all the way to win it 3-2.
Did you just apply Jot to UC Irvine and call them Zot instead? Did you make him a UCI anteater?
Did I call him Zot?
You called him Zot, bro.
Zot knuckle, dude. That's what it is. It's the Zot knuckle, I guess, is what it is. So
I thought you were trying to claim him into UC Irvine or something and call him one of the anteaters, but I get it. All right. Well, either way, Jot repeating history, getting the W over Mato Oha again in a very similar fashion, 3-2. And I kind of understand where Mato Oha was coming from towards that last sequence where he was trying to like get the jump in. I feel like the neutral jump would be a little bit more effective from like further ranges in anticipation for the EX zonk knuckle. It's happened a couple of times over where it's kind of like hard to pin somebody down. It's like the Cody player does get kind of impatient, right? They kind of like going to want to walk in and go for the EX zonk as soon as possible. I think kind of testing that range out initially would have been a good idea, but I think he committed to forward jumping instead, trying to get a punish.
And of course, coming up next here on the match is going to be JB and Flaquito.
Yes.
And JB, I mean, I mean, obviously he's won a lot of things. I like to call him the gatekeeper or the spoiler, basically, because he beats everybody who's the favorite at tournaments all the time on his way to winning. You know, calling him gatekeeper spoiler sounds like, you know, he's not the guy who wins the event, but he typically does win while spoiling everybody else's day. So
yeah. I mean,
let's see how he does here.
He was currently third place, right? In terms of like the ranking, if I'm not mistaken, for the US West. He's had a total of like 160 points, but even overall, right? I think he's been just shy of getting first place. I think 2 times over in back-to-back events too. In month number 2 and 3, JB had done a phenomenal job. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. In month 4, it was. Month 4, he was actually just shy of getting a W. But he's placed third 2 times over, so he is still well within contention of top 3 material. So we'll see. Again, I think Flaquito has more to prove here in this matchup against JB than the other way around. Because again, as it stands, JB so far, he's been getting the most of Flaquito.
Yep, and I see Oil King over here rooting for his Rashid brethren over here, trying to give him the Rashid Spirit Bomb.
Totally understandable.
Go JB, nope, the check from Flaquito gets the hit and the back throw. So JB has a lot of work to do for the comeback here. He's got the V trigger ready to go, but look at that, Flaquito challenging and taking a page from Filipino Man. Says, you know what, this down heavy kick is a pretty good button, so I'm gonna throw this out as well.
Who cares if we're punishable double digits? I don't.
I mean, look, almost Gandhi in the chat says, you know, he felt like he was cheating if he played Rashid. Look, Rashid, I mean, JB has even said that Rashid is super strong.
Oh, this is huge.
He's like, oh yeah, this character is super busted.
I mean, if this bust, oh no, doesn't have the tech. He wasn't ready for the side switch, and Flaquito actually gets to set up another one if he could. And further out, yeah, he gets to do it this time. The interruption, and like it from JB, roundhouse into V-trigger. The backdash call out from Flaquito. But still, eventually gets thrown. When you play against a Rashid, you're bound to get thrown and into the corner. JB,
oh, into the super, yeah,
the
right
counter
there.
Poke roundhouse, that was disgusting. That actually just ran into a normal.
Dude, I mean, this is what the Roses do. Again, Rose has such incredible range with her buttons. They really turned her. They really kind of, you know, previously Rose wasn't like zoner style of character, but I really feel like they kind of leaned more into that direction for her in Street Fighter V. And so yeah, she has a lot of good defensive tools, but you know, included in that arsenal really is the length of a lot of those normals that she has. She has excellent range on her buttons.
She really does. It could be quite the nuisance, honestly, to kind of contest. She has a pretty solid package, right? She's got very good normals in terms of the ranges, at least. Look at that. See? So difficult to contest. And big damage off of these conversions, especially after the soul punish setup. Flaquito is looking pretty prime and pristine against JB, but as soon as I say that, the reverse will just change it all around.
Oh,
the way the orb hit, too. It hit towards the ankle to continue the combo. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the Dulcim anti-throw tech right there. Go up for the air fireball instead. Oh no, the JB didn't work. Oh, the JB didn't work.
Not today. He's been studying the tapes. JB has gotten away with murder multiple times. He calls himself the Hamburglar just because of that fact alone. Being able to steal some of these big events with the same side of Eagle Spike and trying to take it away all from him is Flaquito. But no big interruption there from JB.
Those Soul Sparks, the regular on the ground and as anti-air, they cause such a ridiculous hit stun, I swear. Oh, chases down the backdash. Here we go, JB with the reads. Gonna come in here for the pressure, but what a throw tech, but gonna get clipped by the tornado. So here we go, JB, one hit away from the stun. Close. Oh, he got it. JB
he got it.
Eventually, it's gonna work. Eventually, it's gonna work.
Man. When it comes to blocking the JB, it's the Spider-Man rule. Everybody gets one. That's the thing. JB is gonna do it multiple times. He's looking forward to you trying to block that. He's like, I'm cursed with this power.
And that's the thing, right? You can't be discouraged, right? If it gets blocked once, you can't remove it from your arsenal. Otherwise, you're just playing right into their game.
If anything, it should like inspire you more. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make you hit. I'm gonna make you get hit by this. That's such
nice
a good way to
reaction.
thread the needle. If he still passed the fireball, that Soul Sparkle just not the right time. EX Soul Spiral out of there.
Did it. He just went for it. And again, that doesn't beat throws. And speaking of throws, Flaquito getting the throw and going up 2-0. But we just came back. We just came from an 0-2 comeback. So, you know, everybody knows, especially JB, he knows that he's still in there.
Flaquito playing out of his mind right now. In regards to the record thus far, JB has had a ridiculous record against Flaquito. In fact, in World Warrior number 5, he had taken Flaquito down even before they reached the top 8. And in the very first one, JB had a very convincing win in the top 8 against Flaquito, 3-1. I was able to commentate that and take a look at how the matchups were going to be like in the future. I thought JB, again, just had the right number against some of the Rose players. But given how many extra months after that, it was a whole different story. Granted, JB did beat Flaquito last month 2-0, but in this circumstance, Flaquito, he's been doing the homework.
Yeah. And as you know, again, this West Coast crew, they all practice with each other, they all play with each other, and definitely give each other a lot of strength here. So, and you know, that's the advantage of an event like this, right? The regional final, you know who your opponents are. You know exactly who they are, you know where the brackets are seated, and so you have a lot more prep time here. So you can tell Flaquito has been definitely putting in that work.
Oh, the sweep, yeah. Being able to get the punish, at least within range now, JB on the offensive. Causing heavy punch, Flaquito, he's just gonna have to hold all of that. He's trying to find a way to counter poke it. That's 4 in a row, I think.
Yep. Why not? If it's working, it's working. And, you know, it is one of his best buttons right there. Great range, great distance. Has that ability to crush counter if it hits only on the first hit. Oof. Here we go, activation time. Hasn't spent it yet. There it is. Good defense from JB so far. And there you go. That was actually a good interaction for JB. Escaped that V-trigger, but look how much gray health he has. Ooh, he could have did so much damage.
Could have. The potential was there, but JB just outside. Hey, not too bad for Flaquito. Get the back throw. Also the positioning on top of the extra gray life he took from that damage. But now JB looking to do it again. Trying to get the EX Eagle Spike. Soul Spark past the move. He can't get there yet. Flaquito just within range. EX Soul Spark. One more touch. The jump back short. He knew he was coming too. Flaquito was so confident in that approach. That dash unchecked, immediately going into it. JB in dire straits now. Flaquito looking at match point. That was ridiculous.
What a closing move by Flaquito to put himself at match point. Can he take this 3-0 over, like I said, who I've considered the spoiler here? Is he gonna spoil the spoiler? And there it is again, that weight. Again, remember when we had the jump back throw OS from the from season 1? Oh, yeah. You know, Dalsum's version of it was to go up with the EX Gale, and that's basically what Rose is doing here with her EX Fireball. She's using the Dalsum jump throw OS.
Might have been a little bit overzealous in his approach thus far. He's throwing in a lot of unsafer moves. I think there was a moment where he did a Soul Spiral and did get whiff punished. I don't think that's been a common thing from Flaquito, throwing out some of these Soul Spirals in neutral, but now we see a lot more when he sees the light at the end of the tunnel. JB might be able to take it all back with the way Flaquito was playing from that last round. He needs to change it up a little bit, and JB needs to take advantage of the shakiness from Flaquito.
Sometimes you get just a little too eager to try to finish the job. You smell that blood and you go a little too hard, and then it comes back to bite you. Nice EX Fireball in the air, but tried to really steal some turns by walking forward there. Good spacing, though, from Flaquito. But not that time. Definitely going to be punished. Like you said, he's unsafe, but here's the sweep, and here we go. Oh, yeah. Again, the V-shift. Why deal with that mix-up at all? Just V-shift through the Fireball.
Oh, on the other side! What a block from JB. That was actually disgusting. I couldn't tell what side that was on.
What? hit. And now JB on the verge of taking his first game. Tries to get through there with the B skill. Not going to quite do it. Here comes Flaquito. Oh, that's going to be a punish right there. Waking up with the V trigger to easily react to what it is that Flaquito was going to do. Actually kind of genius.
Yeah, and even so off of the back rise, right, you're not going to get really anything out of it, I think, in terms of like trying to dash forward, because Rose's dash is not really, I think it's like about average. It's like 18 frames, but even with the back though, you don't have that much advantage in terms of like the frame rate. You don't have that much advantage to really press the button. I think if you were to walk up and take your turn, that would be fine, but dashing up is definitely a no-no. You definitely see the big punish from JB.
All right, so JB on the board here. We just saw the 0-2 comeback with Jot versus Mata Oha. Can JB be the next one to do the same thing? And you can see the pressure. He's rushing down. Flaquito fights his way out and still actually has the life lead. And then JB went for big punish.
Jeez.
Again, finds the gap right there. Slams him back to the floor with that jumping heavy punch. What a wow! The the spacing with punish right there.
My God.
Here we go. Here we go. JB finding all the momentum. And basically this is what JB does. Once he starts getting that read, starts to run you over.
Oh, that's huge. He tried to get an interruption. He was too far out. With the EX Tornado. Trying to come out of the corner. JB, speaking of smelling blood, we talked about that earlier. JB is on the come up. I think he just needs one more sequence after this. Could be a back throw for enough damage. No, he's looking for something else. Oh, he thought he had to confirm. Oh, this is trigger one.
That's not going to be a combo. Goes for the empty low, but look how much damage he needs to do. Gets the hit, but doesn't combo. Actually gets the hit there. One more hit into a stun, and Flaquito's going to be able to take this off of a super. Actually, he's not
he
even
doesn't
need
need
to
it.
spend a single bar.
Nah, he doesn't need it at all. When he sets up the soul punishment, you get a full jump in combo afterwards with multiple heavies to spare on the way through. That is actually kind of disgusting. Flaquito and JB. Again, this has been a very, very highly heated match between the two. JB already spending the bars.
Flaquito does find the check to get out of the corner a little bit here. JB obviously wants to try to maintain that. You see, he's trying to walk Flaquito back. Flaquito doing a good job challenging it, but there we go. JB gets the hit, and here's the throw. Pressure time for JB. Free plus frames thanks to the tornado. Backs off a little bit. Okay, but free teleport out of the corner for Rose whenever she activates that V trigger.
You see Flaquito trying to occupy that space with the Fierce, trying to predict when JB wants to move forward. And if you're going to walk him down, that's a great way to start a setup.
Kicked him. He was trying to do heavy kick into activation. Didn't quite get it. So you got to watch out. That's what JB is looking for, is activation route. There it is. Gets the activation. Fakes the JB. Just goes for the cross up instead.
Could he have hit with the Eagle Spike on the way down to punish? The neutral jump? Throw?
And here we go. Oh, and he touched the button. So he's going to get caught by the tornado. No comebacks for Flaquito this time. JB ties it up 2-2.
I wonder if he would have been able to EX Soul Spiral past the meaty fireball in time. I think that might have been the intention, or it could have been Flaquito just trying to interrupt JB moving forward. That was a tough call because that was a very early crouch jab, right? That wasn't going to really touch anything. So I'd imagine maybe it was a missed input. I want to assume it's a missed input, like reversal timing for EX Soul Spiral.
Round one.
Interesting. I mean, Soul Spiral, is that kick, right? It's kick button, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah. It is, yeah. So maybe it wasn't the Soul Spiral. That's tough.
Not
That's
sure.
Really
Maybe
tough.
he was just trying to check the forward dash, like you said. Oh
That is
boy,
kinda tough.
but look at this. It is all turned around. This is what JB does best. Look at the damage. Look at all the red on that life bar from Flaquito's side. The throw. One more mix-up. Good tech. Can he find the activation? No. JB with the rush down, and he's at match point.
A true West Coast native now, man. The way that he's been playing, look at him. He is definitely RTS being all over Flaquito into the corner again. What are you supposed to do about it, brother? Counter hit. A lot of damage incoming. Now you're close to stun. This could be problematic for Flaquito. The overhead is there. JB, he gets one big sequence, and then to follow suit, he gets One more situation, the back throw will do it. And he knew
The
it!
shimmy!
He absolutely
And look at this. Another back-to-back 0-2 comebacks, but this one was a message sent by JB here. That last game right there was just too, I mean, it was basically virtually back-to-back perfects right there for JB to take that last game, and that was some adjustment and domination in the end by JB.
It was so hard to call too. The way that Flaquito had made his comeback as well in the the second to last game, where he was actually down in the dumps and eventually got himself a near perfect, right? Getting that full soul punish combo. It wasn't the same story here. Like JB again being able to apply the pressure and not choke it up towards that very end. Super impressive. Just about as impressive as everybody who's been directly contributing to the Matcherino that you guys have done so far. ! Matcherino in the chat if you can. I believe that is one of the commands. James, you can check that out for me, right?
Yeah. ! Matcherino is definitely there. Thank you, Endabio, for putting that into the chat over there. But again, we are out of the claim code, so thank you for everybody going through those codes. So it is only direct contributions at this point. But shout outs to everybody who has directly contributed. Tim Hancock went there with the $50 donation. Goddamn, I'm free with the $10 donation there. Soulfist with the $15, that boy Lazo with the direct contribution. But there are those Twitch quests out there, so you can still use those. Oh, actually, I think we still do have some codes left, don't we? Because I see people using those codes over there. Let me see, coupon codes. Yeah, 4 coupon codes remaining, but there are also the Twitch quests as well. You can follow Boss and add 3 cents to the pool. I mean, why wouldn't you want to follow Boss?
I mean, he's been posting a lot about some of the foreigners coming through to Japan and some of the dinner posts that he's had. So it's a great time to be a foodie and follow Boss at the same time, because not only is he about the fighting game life, but he's also got some really good tech in regards to where to eat in Japan.
Oh man, here's a classic right here. CCH versus Filipino man. I mean, honestly, these two are, I consider, two of the strongest. Remember, this was grand finals in the US West Capcom Cup tournament, the one that Chris took. Oh wait, no, that was Samurai took that one. Samurai took that one. What event was it that I saw these two in grand finals against each other? I forgot.
It was a bunch of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen him more than once. Oh, that's really tough. Yeah, Filipino man just dumping out the damage against Chris CCH. You know, we talked about how often they fight each other, not only on a casual basis, but even in the World Warrior events, right? I think Chris CCH has topped Filipino man majority of the times. I think he's gotten like 70%, if not more. But he's like, what? I think he's won the last 9 games against Filipino man. Not straight, but almost.
Well, here comes Chris CCH, Filipino man, with that great first round with that sick combo to end it. I mean, Rose with the combo is crazy. Oh, look at that, Chris CCH, yeah, just jumping out of there. And there's the smart block right there. Obviously, two players who have played each other quite a bit. They know each other pretty well at this point.
Has to walk up afterwards and apply pressure, but nothing to really fear mid-screen. That's a big whiff punish. And Chris CCH tying it all up, but the meter advantage slightly in Filipino man's favor. He could be aggressive if he wanted to, but we'll see.
All right, spending one of those bars for that EX Fireball right away. You see how it works so well in neutral, gets the knockdown if you do get the hit on the surprise EX Fireball out of nowhere. But Chris CCH right now, the spacing so well, standing right outside of a lot of the range. Just trying to DP through the Fireball, didn't quite get it. And now Filipino man with a slight life lead. Nothing that Luke can't overcome.
Oh, he missed his opportunity off of the EX. Or sorry, the low medium kick. He could have gone the EX flash knuckle. Maybe he thought it was too far. If there was maybe like a pushback on it, like a counter hit pushback, then he would have whiffed. But again, Chris CCH not willing to take that bet. But Filipino man is off of the low medium kick. We get the activation off of the snapback. Make it safe off of the jab target combo. Ooh, the suppressor coming in full force. We get the thermal barrack this time. Watch out for the throw. Yeah, suppressor coming through.
Oh!
The susceptible to it.
One more, suppressor. No, this time it's the real throw. Chris CCH, that's what you call conditioning right there. 2 suppressors in a row. Filipino man thinking, oh my God, he's gonna go for a third one, but nope, the actual throw this time. Chris CCH taking game number 1.
Not too bad of a situation. Again, Chris CCH had set himself up for an opportunity to either frame trap, delay normals, get a throw going. Again, that mix is just so potent with V-Skill 2. So much more potent with V-Skill 2.
Back to this neutral right here. You see Filipino man trying to keep him out. You saw what Filipino man was able to do earlier by throwing out those preemptive heavy kicks. He's trying the same thing against Chris CCH right now. But Chris CCH, like I said, I feel like he's used to this. So definitely staying outside the range more or trying to get into a range where he can punish the heavy kicks. But nice throw. Filipino man loves to do that. The anti-air into the throw. Yeah, that's going to recover in time.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
this time he gets through it.
Yeah, he had to make that choice, the conscious effort to either do the anti-air DP or the projectile invulnerable DP. Side switch.
Again, good block. Yep. Not this time. It's hard to tell when you needed to turn around. That's still not enough to kill. Dude, Luke can still definitely do this.
Uh-oh. Setting him shop. No, trying to pull out the cards. Yeah, I gotta say, that was pretty clever from Filipino man. Masking what he wanted to do. Chris CCH thought it was going to be a projectile or even like something else, but he thought Filipino man was going to stay grounded and jump back short, catching it out.
Oh, trades on the crouching medium kick. What a whiff punish by Filipino man. But there we go. Finally, the single hit confirmed from Chris CCH. Into the corner. Got the meaty. And now, yes, for stun. Throws the EX. Not throw invul. There it is, Chris CCH taking round number 2.
That's really rough. It's actually kind of rough. The way that it went down again is just so difficult to tell what Chris CCH wants to do on offense.
Yeah, I mean, having your EX invul move, to strike invul move, be susceptible to throws is kind of rough. And you see how laggy that EX Soul Spiral is when it misses. Chris CCH had 8 years to punish that. No, Chris was crouching and the heavy kick missed.
Yeah, that target combo is a little bit tougher to catch somebody on the crouching side of it.
Oh, landed on the fireball. This is a big opportunity for Filipino man to try to tie this up 1-to-1. Can he do it? He doesn't have the V trigger. He puts himself in the corner, but it doesn't even matter anyway, because one hit into damage, and there it is. Chris CCH up 2-0.
That's so difficult, man. We're starting to really see the offense shine from Luke in the hands of Chris CCH. We see how potent some of his pressure can be. And just the sheer damage output is so tremendous. You have so many less chances, so little chances to even try to survive afterwards. Oh, that could have
A
been
little too far away for that crouching medium punch. Yeah, didn't hit. But look at that. Chris CCH now with the beautiful spacing. And look at this, plus frames on the knee, goes for the suppressor, gets the mix up after the EX Sandblaster, checking with the light punch. This offense, where do you find the gap? Oh.
Well, found it right there. Filipino man catching Chris CCH, moving a little bit too much forward. A little bit overzealous with the movement.
No free forward movement for you. Okay, throw from Filipino man. He's still got this trigger. He's gonna be able to combo off of that. And now it's close to stun, but he goes for the shimmy. And yeah, Chris CCH he had to be thrown twice to get stunned. So he was like, I'm taking this throw. So the shimmy not working out for Filipino man. Chris CCH at match point here to get into winners finals.
It's looking very similar in terms of the results they've had against each other thus far during the World Warrior. Chris CCH has had such dominant performances against Filipino man, and we're starting to see why, right? Just the suppression in the corner, and I don't mean V-Skill 2. There's just so much smothering the rows. It's been very difficult to contest the mid-range.
Too far.
And Filipino man thought he was going to get a punish after that big error from Chris CCH, but unfortunately he gets whiff punished back.
And here we go. This is what Chris was doing earlier. The suppressor coming back into play. And like I said, the fact that it's also a backsway to also avoid short range lights as well, very, very useful tool to have. Chris CCH takes it 3-0 over Filipino Man. Dominating fashion here between these two training partners.
I don't like how you have to do like the smackdown. It's like you have to put some emphasis on it too. Come on, man, that's brutal. Hey, man, that's traumatizing. Don't do that to me. Chris CCH. Chris CCH, again, in dominating fashion, 3-0. That's actually quite phenomenal. Like, he's been keeping it super consistent against Filipino Man, but at the same time, it's not going to be the end, not even close to the end of Filipino Man. He's still got plenty of work to do down below in losers quarterfinals, but moving on to it, even more of the friendship group. This is going to be kind of interesting. Jot and JB, they face off against each other plenty of times. And I do believe the last time they played, one of the bigger ones was back in month number 2, if I'm not mistaken, for the grand finals. Jot had taken down JB, even in the winner's side, right? Winners finals, Jot had taken down JB 3-1. JB made it out from losers to meet him back into grand finals, and Jot repeated the same results 3-1 again.
Wow. Dang. Okay. And Jot just off of a really, really nice comeback. So there's going to be a little bit of that, adrenaline, maybe, a little bit of that momentum coming here after going down 0-2 against Mata Oha and coming all the way back. So let's see if he can ride that wave here into this match.
You have both.
Actually, wait. JB did it too, actually,
I was gonna say,
never mind.
Very similar stories on both, right? They were down at a huge deficit, looking at match point, and Fakito actually had match point against JB. He was literally 1 round away. We mentioned it. He right into the tunnel and got shook up. But it's plot armor Jot versus JB. Oh man, plot armor is still coming through real thick. The stun is here. Look at that damage.
Is that considered Jot armor then? I mean, at this point in time, can we just call it that? What?
Can.
You woke up with a fierce button. He saw that Jot wasn't going aggressive, so he's like, this is my chance to throw out my far range move. Be able to try to break out of this corner. Nice defense by Jot and the throw tech at the same time, because he knew JB wanted that corner position again. He wanted to get that back throw.
And look at the spacing Jot's playing at. He's not trying to be susceptible to any of the wall shenanigans that Rashid has. There it is, getting out of the corner. And there it goes. Jot pretty much waiting it out for the EX spinning mix-in. Calling him out. JB, he tried to pull out some of the hamburger tech. He couldn't get himself out with the traditional wall jump, and he couldn't get himself out spinning the meters. So Jot, again, being so focused on what he's trying to do or how to keep Rashid contained, getting that first W.
Yeah, but JB, we saw this so much in the last game. Every time he got the corner, but there it is. Light punch into level 2 zonk gets you all the way out of the corner, right back into the center of the stage. What a powerful tool to have to be able to get yourself out of the corner situation. Because even if it's blocked, it's +2, and you're still pushing yourself out of the corner.
Corner. Yeah, JB don't get his opportunity off of the back throw. We do get to see the activation from Jot and counter activation there from JB to advance forward. You have a knife, I have a whirlwind. What was that?
I can't believe that. That was like free nerf G crouch fierce right there into the super. Jot then gonna take game number 1. I can't believe that knife. I mean, look, at least the knife looks like it hits that far back, but I wasn't expecting it to actually hit way back there. Yo.
He shanked the ankles, right? He gave him the Achilles heel. He actually put it right into the foot. But I gotta say, that was pretty impressive. That standing or that crouching heavy punch into the full sequence from Jot. It's a little problematic. Again, we talk about Rashid having some of the better normals in the game, right? Whether it's like far reaching or even like far moving forward. But in V-Trigger 1, that is a great equalizer in the Footsie 1. Jot with Cody has just been so immaculate with the spacing. Just taking so much advantage of the space too, even without the knife too. Medium punches, medium kicks are just so difficult to contest. But look at,
oh my God! Where did he go?
Dump truck, James. He is a dump truck of damage.
He is the mayor of Metro City. He took out the entire Mad Gear gang with only one other dude, man.
And he still couldn't get the girl. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. That kind of resentment leads to jail time, which he did. He even served in prison.
Oh, yeah. He was there for quite some time. fell in love with fighting, dude, and then that was it.
Oh,
Here we go, cross under, yep. Oh, nice.
What?
Again, JB with the heavy punch to fight out of the corner, and he gets the stun, and JB's like, you know what? Nice round, but it wasn't the game. So here I come back again, and I am going to take this and tie it up 1-1.
You know, but there's a problem here with the Jot armor currently available. He's got 3 of them. Oh, JB
there's
actually
some Jot
clipped
armor
him.
right there.
That
was Jot armor.
Oh, no.
You neutral jump to punish that. You still got hit, got wall bounce. Like, that is Jot armor if I've ever seen it.
JB still recovering from it. Have to spend so many resources now to keep Jot contained. You could get the stun here, not quite yet. Below's gonna
Might
do it.
even
No.
be better. What attack?
Oh,
and he gets the
no.
punish. Activation. This is gonna hurt, and he's gonna get a setup off of this as well. Nice tech, but you tried to push a button. Shimmy. No more knife. Okay. Pressured. Free plus frames. Jot just defending. More plus frames. Backdash to get out of there. Jot jumps over and he punishes. Yo!
Call out what a phenomenal defensive read from Jot. Most people I've seen try to jump, mistime it, and get clipped by the spinning mixer on the way up. And that's actually kind of wild that Jot, again, the Jot armor coming through, being able to avoid it altogether and also get the punish. That is ridiculous. That is very, very uncommon in the realm of Rashid matchups.
Yeah, and knowing that that move has that much lag when it goes through the tornado, when it is powered up, that he had plenty of time to dash up and get the full punish. That is some matchup knowledge there. But again, we've talked about, you know, obviously the Jot armor here, but JB, I mean, what we saw, he was one of the guys who made the O2 comebacks, and there's a reason for that. Once he gets that momentum, once he gets that aggression started, he is a dangerous, dangerous player. Let's see if he can ruin Jot's day and give Jot a little taste of his own medicine with this O2 comeback.
Man, I'm nervous. I'm actually, when you put it that way, the storytelling behind it, that makes me that much more nervous. It's like, oh man, the person who's usually at the deficit is what gets the W, or is who gets the W, specifically for these two players right here. So this is very, very tough to call now. Despite the 2-0 lead, Jot has been playing very confidently. You know, we kind of talk about the big comeback factors that they both had, being 0-2. For once, thus far, I think being 2-0 is actually a good thing for these two, right? It neutralizes
I have you
itself.
just where I want you.
Yeah, it neutralizes itself when both of these players both have like the 0-2 gift rather than the curse.
Right. Ooh, yeah, he's going to be able to get the juggle off of that. And here we go. Throw into the corner, but that's one V trigger. And you can see still pretty even in life right now. There's that zonk. Good defense with the plus frames of the back throw. And you're in the corner. But JB wakes up with running forward. No fear in his heart at all.
Oh, that's actually really tough. That's the second time JB has put himself in the corner and it's gotten punished accordingly. But Jot actually got the crouch counter hit jab. He gets the bird off of it.
He went for it. And I think that was going to be a knockdown too. So I don't know if he was going to be able to get anything off of that. But man, he went for that jump attack and it was just shy. Go. And, you know, we talked about this, the neutral, you know, you said Rashid has such great buttons and everything like that, but like I said, I keep talking about Cody, that standing medium punch, that standing medium kick. His neutral buttons are so good. That standing light kick as well.
To be fair, JB had tried to steal a turn, or at least try to steal some movement. He actually dashed up in his face. That was great reactions from the side of Jot, just throwing it, that medium out there. But at the same time, JB, no, that's great. That's great for Jot. That's not too bad of a trade.
Yeah, but you know, that was the buff right there. The tornado has that extra hit now to be able to keep the pressure. And guess what, Jeremy? Guess what?
Not like this,
It's
James.
starting.
Not
It's
like
beginning.
You just hear like a giant, like you know, like the intro to like a protagonist, like
Oh, yeah,
you
the
hear the
Inception
JP
horn or something.
Yeah, JP's theme actually sounds like the Inception horn over and over again, but it's actually so cool. Not gonna lie to you.
He's
Here we go.
beginning to believe.
See the frames. Despite getting checked off of that round, off of a forward dash, JB still recovered quite well. I gotta say, that was very, very impressive to keep himself alive in the way that he did too.
All right, here we go. JB now on player 1. Keep in mind he's on player 1 now because we went back to the lobby here. But JB is trying to make this comeback. Can he do it? Is this going to happen?
Find out. It's going to be a pretty lengthy match, I will say. I'm calling it right now. I think JB's going to try to go to the distance, at least tie it up here. I mean, he's had those shining moments when he played literally the round before against Flaquito. We'll see if he can do it again. The crack kick, the hammer kick, I should say, excuse me.
Yeah, no, I mean, forward heavy kick was the crack kick back in the Alpha 3 days, man. Move is so good.
Even in 4.
That's true. That's true.
It's so fast, too.
Yep. I loved it. That was my favorite Cody tool in Alpha 3. I used to play Cody in Alpha 3, man. Oh, here we go. Overhead into the combo. Look at this. Everything is going JB's way. Meaty instead of the throw. Finish it off. JB 1 round away from tying it up 2-2.
It's actually kind of nuts. It's actually kind of nuts. It's coming to fruition. JB, he's trying to will it. Can he get it,
That
though?
wasn't a level 2. Not a level. Oh, that's a punish. There we go. Towards the corner. Goes for the meaty. Gets out of there. Accidental tornado, I'm sure. Gonna give JB the crush and the corner position. But there we go. Jot with the check on the low jabs, finding the hit.
I love this so far. The pressure again from JB. He's already spending all the meter. And again, puts himself in the corner awkwardly. Jot actually had countered those scenarios 2 times over and gotten the punish without this time. There's a counter hit, crouching jab, a full activation, and look at how much damage and corner carry you get off of a single hit into activation.
JB has really, I felt like, harmed himself because he has been putting himself in the corner too often instead of trying to keep the position. And now Jot at match point.
It's not an unfamiliar scenario for JB. He's already been in this scenario 1 time over against Flaquito where he was down where match point was possible. But Jot, he's looking to run away with it. There's a lot of... Oh! What? No punish?
Oh, no. No. Not like this. Oh, my God. That's enough to stun. Are we going to go for a reset, or is he just going to get as much damage as he can here? He's just going to take the damage that he gets. And, yes, 1 more mix-up. Nice. Tech. Here we go. What's the mix-up? Yeah, Jot's like, I've seen that before. The trade. But nothing off of it. Oh, no anti-air. The check from Jot. No free EX tornadoes for you. Jot defeats JB, prevents the 0-2 comeback, and I really felt like it turned around in that previous round when JB put himself into the corner again. And we've seen that come to haunt him so many times. I get it. He's been staying in the front for a lot, and he wants to just try to mix it up a little bit, maybe set up for being able to hamburglar people with the JB. But it just, I feel like it cost him in the end.
Has he done that a bunch of times over? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't recall seeing him even try to do that as often. I feel like we haven't seen the frontal JB as much as we've seen the missed attempts at trying to mix up by putting himself in the corner. Right. There have been 2 instances in a row, I think, where Jot had gotten the punish, but even in the 3rd time, Jot, although wasn't ready for it, he was committing to like just getting it across a block. So I think JB just hasn't shown that card off enough in that matchup. I'd have to look at it again, but at the same time, maybe I'm wrong. He's just looking for some of these big eagle spikes in the corner specifically. I know he's done it like mid-screen, but like in the corner specifically, I think it would be a lot harder to call. But overall, Jot still making it through to winners finals. He has to face off against another training partner via Chris H. Again, this is where the friends live, man. This is where it is. But it's not going to be the end of JB, right? We still have the losers quarterfinals to go. JB is sitting there alongside Filipino Man on opposite ends. But it's going to be between Yanub and Nephew, as well as Mataoha and Flaquito waiting down below in the Sharks.
It's crazy to see Yanub and Nephew and Mataoha and Flaquito all in the losers round to start here right away. But again, Nephew, one of the strongest players, did go down to Filipino Man in a very close set, 3-2. So Nephew definitely has the ability to make it all the way through here on this loser side of the bracket. Yanub probably is a little bit of the underdog here in this matchup, but you know, not by much. He definitely has the ability to ruin Nephew's day as well.
I guess
this is
I was It's going to be Yanub versus Nephew, right? It's going to be very difficult to call. I think just looking at the previous records thus far, I think it's been Nephew who's really gone the distance pretty much month after month after month. I think the only time we've really seen Yanub, I feel like, was back in, I think it was month numbers like 2 and 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was actually just 3. But overall, like Yanub, again, not being able to see the kind of success that he was expecting, he was still able to get himself into 8th place, just tied with Mira of all the players that we've seen in the West Coast, right? Mira, she's done a phenomenal job of putting herself back on and off the map, I feel like, because she could play almost every game, almost every fighting game at a very decent, very solid level, right? So it's I understand how hard it is to juggle, but at the same time, it's like she was so close to qualifying. She actually tied with Yanub. She was 1 point away. If she had 1 more point, she would have been tied with Mataroha, who was 81. How does that happen?
Dang. Okay. But here we go. Yanub, Nephew going against each other. Nephew sticking with the Luke. This is definitely where he has decided to go towards. So Yanub fighting Chris CCH earlier, taking 1 game, but now, what? That was definitely an execution error. Not even sure how that V skill happened. That allowed Yanub to get out of the corner right there. That's a gift right there. But of course, it is still very early. Slide in there. Nice distancing on that slide. Very hard to make safe like that.
Oh, without a doubt. Yanub, again, very familiar with this situation. He literally fought off against other Lukes throughout the entirety of this whole experience, right? This entire World Warrior experience. But the whip punish is there. Oh, no. The flash level from pretty much out of nowhere from Nephew.
And always glad to see that he has stuck with the Manat here. Obviously, one of the biggest differences was that V-Trigger 1 going into from 2 bars to 3 bars. That eliminated a bunch of the Manat players out there. But as you mentioned, some of them still sitting there. Yanub, obviously. Sako is an obvious one. And of course, Europe's own Reichman's Barnett, who has just been doing so much damage with that Manat.
Reichman's Barnett, I love saying his name, one, and also watching that not too. But yeah, other than that,
you're right.
Reichman's Barnett, gotta roll the R's, James, gotta do it.
Reichman's Barnett.
There it is.
I live in Southern California. I can roll my R's. Okay,
what I'm talking about. You know? I would hope so. Yeah. I mean, I'd be judging you really hard if you did. You've been living longer. You've been living in SoCal longer than me. That's for sure.
Exactly. Oh man. There we go. Corner pressure for Nephew. Wasn't sure if that was plus or not, but you know what? Wasn't gonna take the risk, and here we go. Orb, he's gonna connect it onto that slide. Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Orb, slide, orb combo extension. Nicely done. Showing a little bit of that Sako prowess right there. Of course, Sako, I mean, nobody can get to Sako's level on Manat, right? Even Yanub will probably say that, because Sako is just ridiculous. But, I mean, as long as Yanub can be, you know, very close and land those combos like that, he'll be just fine.
The Yanub show is starting to show like that. Oh man, that was actually kind of rough. Nephew was trying to go for something. I think he might have thought he got like a punish, or maybe like he tried to buffer a normal, and Yanub actually got into it, right?
Yeah, might have been one of those whiff OSs, but if you go into the range, yeah, you definitely get that. Nice check with the stand heavy punch. Oh, I love that DP from Nephew, not letting him drill out of there for free, but that was a hit out of the air, and he had committed to the target combo, so Yanub actually got a couple of hits, but then gets caught by the Soul Spark. Oh.
Remember, that was the normal that doomed him in his first game, right? That standing roundhouse, he actually connects this time.
Oh, no.
The damage, the connection, and Yanub, even if he wasn't finished off of that orb, he already set up the other one for the explosion, and he would have gotten himself even more damage off of the anti-air. The soul throw, if you will. I can't believe he calls it Guardian of the Sun.
Soul throw.
Right?
Soul throw.
The soul throw, dude. Come on now. But you know, I thought you were Rose's student. What are you coming up with the sun stuff?
I know, right? I mean, you have a soul spark, right? You have a soul spark.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all right there.
He has a soul sphere, you know?
Exactly. Oh, man. All right, here we go. Throwing a nice, caught him. But Nephew definitely was trying to fish in there. Gets hit by the crush. Got to deal with this pressure. I love the challenge for Nephew there. Knows the character, knows the matchup. There's the tech. Jump backwards by Yanoob. It's a couple of times he's had good jump backwards in the corner. Last time that's how he led into that surprise orb.
That was sick.
Here we go.
Oh!
Yeah.
He could have got a full sequence off of that. He baited Nephew into thinking he was going to get punished or at least given him his turn after the dash up. No confirm either from Nephew.
Confirm. Dude, they're just sitting there. Shimmy's got to go for the V trigger to keep himself safe. And now this is the minefield here that you got to navigate. It's so scary.
Oh, he thought he had it.
Yeah. I mean, look, if Nephew got the hit, that would have been in the super, and then that would have been the round. So he really just kind of bet it all on that, and unfortunately didn't work out. And there it is, Yanoob going up 2-0 over Nephew. Is this going to be a potential for Nephew to go out 0-2 in this tournament, which is going to be a huge surprise to me because, like I said, Nephew has just been, he was the strongest here. Again, he was concentrating on some school, graduating and doing all these things like that. So shout outs to him. But seriously, though, I mean, Yanoob is playing so well right now. I'm not trying to take anything away from how well Yanoob has been playing.
Would he go for his master's or something? Because I could have sworn he was already done with school like a while ago, but.
Was it a while ago?
I feel like he's been done
I just saw the pictures.
Maybe I'm tripping. I'll check it out.
Maybe I'm wrong. I swear I just saw the pictures. I'm probably wrong. Maybe it was like one of those weird Facebook posts that came up like years later or something like that or something,
See, now I gotta check. I'm like, man, am I a bad person to not do it? So I'm like, I feel kind of bad. I'm a fan of Nephews, man.
Yeah. Or look, you know what? I mean, it's not gonna be the first time that I flubbed somebody's personal information like that. So, I'll trust you more than I'll trust me.
Classic commentators. Here we go. So Nephew actually going back in with Colleen. This is actually pretty impressive, right? I think, Nephew doesn't really skip a beat when it comes to coming back into piloting Colleen.
Dude, it just feels like it's riding a bike. I mean, look at this. Look at this, man. It just feels like it's so natural. Everything is just flowing. He knows every situation, familiar with every setup. Almost had that jump in. And look at this. Push all the way into the corner just like that.
Oh no, he gets
that's going to be a combo. Yep.
The standing heavy punch was well within range. You're actually going to get a throw off of this? Yep. It throw bait, if anything. You should be at least surviving one more hit. He didn't have the meter to finish it off. Nephew can throw though. The tick throw. Defended well by Yanoob. No hail here. Just orbs.
Got him low, but no orb release afterwards. Didn't believe. And the throw from Nephew. And that was a fast game for Nephew. And this is why sometimes, even though, yes, did Colleen get nerfed? Yes. Is Luke really strong? Yes. But if you're comfortable with a character, man, sometimes it just works so much smoother.
I gotta say, that's maybe Yanoob has a pocket loop. Maybe it's his time to actually switch it up and get this big counter pick game going, because I wouldn't be too surprised if he didn't have a pocket loop. But all jokes aside, it is going to be the Manat from Yanoob show. The Yanoob show, excuse me. We already get the big... that's the second sequence that Nephew has gone for to punish the orb setup from Yanoob. Literally the same back-to-back. Take a look at how he played off the previous game in the first round. He's done it again. Very similar sequences.
Yeah, this is night and day what we're seeing here, but from Nephew, it's just the comfort level is just there. Look at this, a perfect at 73 seconds. That just means that Yanoob was, even though was playing good defense, Nephew had the control the entire time. It's so impressive, and Nephew continuing this. Yes, the Colleen coming in here doing damage. Look. Nerfs, buffs, tier lists, they're all just speculation, man. They're all just telling you, theory fighter. But look, once it comes down into the actual practice, it's important what you feel the most comfortable with.
Totally agree. Absolutely agree. Again, Nephew just demolishing the defense of Yanoob over and over in the corner again. It's as if she hasn't been changed at all. Again, you talked about it earlier. What bucks, what minutes, etc. It's just all nothing, really.
Oh, no, got him with the follow-up, but it didn't combo. He didn't get the combo. Here we go, second orb. One hit into the super. That's what he was going for right there. Trying to find Nephew with the shimmy, but Nephew staying patient says, you know what, I'll take the throw because you can't kill me off of that throw.
True.
It's so hard to stay resist. Oh, he's got flipped, and that's going to allow Nephew with the air throw. 2-2. Are we going to see another 0-2 comeback here that we've seen already 2 times in this top 8?
That was actually kind of rough. The noob actually got clipped on the way out, too. That was catching the recovery at backdash, if I'm not mistaken. Nephew still within range perfectly to get that medium punch and connect it. This is too close to call, ladies and gentlemen. The noob hasn't been able to contest against Nephew's Colleen, but also, to be fair, Nephew does have the winning record against Yanoob thus far in the World Warrior Series. So, again, if you aren't a believer of the numbers, I will say, I think it's mostly because of the Colleen. I don't know what their matchup was like between Luke and Minot prior, but I will tell you this Colleen is definitely the game changer for this matchup.
I mean, obviously it's 2-2, so it does feel like it's close to call. But I feel like those last 2 games, Nephew just kind of ran right through Yanoob. And so I don't know. I feel like all the momentum is on Nephew's side. But again, I don't want to commentators curse anybody at this point in time. So we'll see if Yanoob can make the proper adjustments here. Nephew trying to get in there with a bunch of jumps. Yep, you see the forward movement there. Plus frames on those crouch medium kick, but too far away to really do anything with it. Here we go, the throw from Yanoob. Okay, so Yanoob definitely weathering the storm here. Gets the punish as well. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Turned around, but there you go. Skated her way on in. Colleen is in, and here comes the pressure. Tried to go for a little bit of a shimmy. Gonna get hit, but ran out of V-trigger. Didn't have the extension on that heavy punch. Not gonna hit. That's gonna be, again, a punish. Yanoob at match point.
And it's so close to Yanoob. Could have been in so much trouble had he slipped that up. Had Nephew been able to get that conversion whilst in V-trigger still, but very, very lucky ending there for Yanoob. But he's going to take advantage of this. Yeah, just to recall off of the overhead. Just to chase down the jump as well as getting the orb back. Very pivotal. And just out of the range, or so I thought. Ooh, watch out for the recall.
Didn't have the orb, so the crouching heavy punch didn't quite have the range. Here we go. Nephew gets the hit. Time for the aggression. This is where Nephew. Oh, but just.
Oh, it's coming at me. That actually hits.
That's gonna hit. Okay. Knocks him back with the V skill 1. That was one of the changes that Yanoob did go for. Change to the V skill 1. But here we go. Nephew back into the corner. Pressure over here. Throw. Back throw. So that he can get the pressure again. And there's the meaty instead. And then the shimmy. We are going to a final game. Final round.
One touch away from stun. Either way, Yanoob just wasn't able to stave off in the guessing game. It's very difficult to, considering the Ice Queen. Her strike throw game is absolutely ridiculous. It led to so much. There we go, back throw. The orb still in front of her. Yanoob trying to find a way to safely recall this orb. There he gets it. Creates some space. Combo. That's going to be so tough. Yeah, I was a little bit too far for the combination, but now Nephew, he's looking to close the gap against Yanoob, keep the corner, contain it, but no, the orb. Still a problem, the reversal there from Yanoob.
Nice. Oh, jumps over. Good spacing again on that slide. Yep, not going to challenge this time, but here we go. Gets the throw. Tries to go for the shimmy again. But fighting his way out. Yanoob getting out of there, but Yanoob has the V-trigger almost ready to go. There it is. You got to be careful. The sweep, I like that idea because then at least you're not going to get comboed after that. And the back throw. So Yanoob out of there. Got to find a way to get in there, but JB trying to play solid defense. There's the throw. I'm sorry, not JB, Nephew.
I was like, wait a minute. Is the tag team joint? Oh, no.
Damn it. Is this enough to kill? Is this going to kill? No, not quite.
Oh, the side switch. What a block from Yanoob.
Oh, did the chip damage. It's not going to come into play. Nephew gets the back throw and takes it.
The tip throw setup while still having V-trigger is so tough because she could still dash up in your face and check the low. Yanoob actually had the right defensive call, getting the crouching block, right? He already knew the crouching light kick was coming. It's just what happens afterwards, right? Nephew's done such a great job of getting some of these tick throws and tick throw baits off of that setup alone. That was very, very tough to call for Yanu, but I would have definitely lost it if Yanu just immediately went for reversal super and caught Nephew's grab. I would have gone nuts after that. But because like, did he have enough to get a critical art chip kill? I don't think so. I think there was like more than
No. He had plenty of health to survive that. So he had a big chunk left right at the end, because I was saying like it just needed 1 or 2 more tiny hits to be able to get into that range, but then didn't matter. Nephew was able to get the throw, take it, and Nephew with an 0-2 comeback of his own right there. So Nephew, JB, and Jot, all 3 of them with some 0-2 comebacks here.
I was going to be surprised if you just called them all JB. I was like, that's how you feel, James? Everybody who gets from 0-2. John technically got it too, man. I was like, wait a minute, JB's defense.
I know. I should have called him. I'll call him the Jot B. Jot B few.
The few Jot Bs is what it is, yeah. But yeah, Nephew again showing superb stability and also recognition of when he should hold it and when he should fold it, really. I think him stepping away from Luke was so pivotal. You could see how much of a difference it is.
Clearly.
Just riding on that bike again of Colleen. So that was very, very, very consistent from the side of Nephew. But going into it again, Flaquito versus Mata Oha, this is going to be a problem, I feel like.
Oof. Yeah, but again, so this is just the level of play that we're seeing here on this US West final. So many close matches, so many 0-2 comebacks. It's been absolutely a blast so far. But Flaquito, Mata Oha, God, there's that jump heavy punch with the range again. Here we go, activation. Got the hit, so not gonna spend anything just yet. Forward jump and a nice reaction to get the hit, and Flaquito using that V trigger for all of the mix-ups. I'm sorry, I need to do it better, right, Jeremy?
Oh God, Jesus.
All of the mix-ups.
I gotta look behind me to make sure it's not one of my parents.
Things just got very dark all of a sudden.
Or traditional, whatever perspective you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
It's either dark or traditional. That's just how the world works.
Dark or happens.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's how it works. But Mata Oha again, just experiencing the full threshold of Flaquito's power.
Can he build up a super?
100%.
Actually, we've already seen that it probably doesn't even. Oh, he is.
He does.
Yeah, guaranteed. Just take the win, and there it is, the end. I mean, there's no reason to save the meter or anything. Just spend it and forget it. 1-0 for Flaquito.
Did you just give us a Roscoe Rotisserie advertisement? Just set it and forget it, dude. We're the only ones. We're the only ones that are gonna know what that is. But I will tell you,
it came up.
It works.
Someone put it like, I think I saw it on Twitter or something. Like they were talking about like the history of Ronco or whatever, and they're like, "Does anybody remember the set it and forget it?" And I was like, and now it's just been back in my head. It's been living in my head rent free since then.
That contraption has saved many a Thanksgiving and Christmas. I kid you not. That thing was a godsend.
That thing dominated the infomercial, not infomercial, but that time slot, you know, the nighttime time slots. That dominated that for that a long time ago, man. Just like Mata Oha's trying to dominate Flaquito right now.
For a very good reason. That thing was phenomenal. You know, it did everything. Just like how
I never had one.
You don't need it now. I'll tell you that. We've advanced far beyond our technological grasp. Famous big English, nice. Mata Oha is beating down Flaquito, and that jump in again, being able to have such good normals as Rose, also even some of the far-reaching ones, it does come with some risk, right? It does come with some pretty hefty recovery on it.
I just feel so like freaking FaZe just entered the chat and hears us talking about rotisserie, and he's just like, what is happening? Not a good time to enter the stream.
I mean, it's always a good time for chicken, that is for sure. So I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah.
You know, does have the live feed despite him jumping on in that last round from Mata Oha. He's still playing a very similar game, which is mid-range to long-range, out-poking ball majority of the time. but that just gives more fuel to the fire. Same side on the trigger. Monta Oha still -2 after that.
Keeps it safe. Yeah, look at that sweep range right there. He stood up. Monta Oha stood up, got caught by that, and there's the V-shift, and actually didn't use the other part. He baited the V-shift. He knew that Monta Oha was going to V-shift, so he threw the fireball and then just did nothing. He didn't spend any of that V-trigger. Really smart decision by Flaquito there, and saved it for the second time and got the kill.
Yeah, I think one of the big counter moves is to V-shift as soon as you see the V-trigger being spent, I think. But it's kind of tough to call, because if it's not the airborne one, it could be a little bit problematic.
Again, the sweep from Rose. It's so cool. Watch it dome, but didn't get the combo. Oh, nice.
Oh, the screw smash, excuse me.
Here we go. Back throw into the corner. Oh no! The crouching fierce missed. That thing hits pretty far behind. Not as far behind as Cody's crouching fierce with the knife, but still. Oh! Oh no! That's gonna be a combo. Sets up the satellite, but gets challenged.
No need for satellite when you're stealing your neighbor's cable.
Scary.
That's Oha. Just trying to steal it away. Plus frames after that. Oh, punish. So punish.
Satellite set up.
Oh, the bullet hell. That's so tough. Because and that would have actually kind of juggled too. Flaquito set up shop with the EX soul punish first, which allowed him to initiate bullet hell, right? As soon as that orb is on the screen, the EX version, it's so hard to even try to go up to Rose and then prevent her from setting up the V skill too. That was very, very impressive too from Flaquito to just have that kind of recognition. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to set this up. Monta Oha is also going to have to come to me, and I'm just going to chill. I'm going to let the orb do the damage.
And we got Mr. Danny Pham in the chat there. What's up? Talking about how this matchup is terrible for Rose. But, I mean, Flaquito has just been putting in the work. But definitely shout outs to Mr. Danny Pham. Hope you're doing well here this December.
It's looking pretty one-sided right now. There's a big punish there on the dash punch too. Man, Monta Oha is still trying to make it happen.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, hey,
bell.
Look, Jeremy. What have we been seeing all day, man? What have we been seeing all day?
They want to play Street Fighter. I get it. I totally get it. They want to go
Monta Oha might be able to make this comeback here. Dude, wow! Flaquito taking a book of David Serlin right there with Crouch Strong like 4 times in a row. Some Alpha 2 strategies here.
I don't even know if Flaquito was born during that era, to be honest with you.
God.
I don't. I genuinely don't. Oh boy. No, I'm kidding. He's about the same age as me, I think. Oh no, not even. Just a little bit younger. But anyways, neither here nor there. But I will say, triggering right in front of Monta Oha's face. He tried to get him going, but it actually clipped.
This time he didn't do anything. That time he just blocked. And wow, going right over the crouching medium kick. He probably read Monta Oha wanted to do crouching medium kick into activation.
Yep. That sounds about right. It does sound about right.
I mean, even if it was minus, at least he would have been able to try to fish for a low hit or something. But Flaquito reading it, going right over it, punishing it. Flaquito is at match point against Monta Oha.
Oh my God.
You can see how much work Monta Oha puts into this game. 110 rank Warlord here. Oh my God! And Flaquito says, I don't care. I'm 692. I'm not that far behind. Now you just need one more hit. That's gonna do it.
Jesus.
Flaquito with the 3-0 over I didn't think it was gonna kill either, man. I didn't think that throw was gonna kill, but it did.
I was so close to saying he's got one more shot at life after this. I almost did it. James. But I've learned my lesson after years of being wrong. So that's just how it goes, man. We thought we were going to see ourselves another comeback from being at a deficit from 0-2. There's only a few that wield that power, and it wasn't in between the Monta Oha versus Flaquito match. Instead, Flaquito has an ill-awaited fate match up next. He has to face off against his best friend, Filipino Man, and that sucks. That truly sucks. But that's just how it goes, man. We talked about this what happens in top 8? I know James is shaking his head. He's ready to deliver the line. Go ahead, James.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Yeah, no, again, I give credit where credit's due. This is the words of Jason Cole, but he said when top 8 is happening, that's when you start eliminating friends. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Again, a lot of these West Coast players, not a surprise that they're all up here in this top 8 because they train with each other and they're playing with each other all the time, and they are some of the strongest right now. But again, we are pretty far along the bracket. Unfortunately, that means we have lost 2 players, but we are going to be continuing after a quick break. More matches coming up. Chris CCH, Filipino Man Filipino Man going down 0-3, Jot winning over JB 3-1. Chris CCH and Jot set up for winners finals. You guys do not want to miss that after this break. See you then. Welcome back, everybody, to World Warrior here. We are trying to find out who is qualifying out of US West. We have had a bunch of people qualifying from all around the world for World Warriors so far, and we are going to add the next name to the list tonight. How have you been enjoying the matches so far, Jeremy?
Well, it's been pretty close at the first part of the winners quarterfinals, and we take a look at the bracket. If so, we could actually get that for you in just a little bit, hopefully. But the winner's side, just right out the gate, actually just the start of the top 8, has been very, very, very close and has gone down to the wire in numerous instances, but not in the way that you would imagine, right? There's been so many instances where it had gone like 0-2 and pretty convincing, like, you know, maybe this person's just going to take it 3-0. No, not at all. Actually, the second half of that winners quarterfinals was so difficult to call. But still, we have many talented players that have gone through the ringer month after month. 5 gruesome months of nonstop battles to give us what we have today. Chris CCH going up against Jot, and that's going to be pretty difficult to watch because, again, they are training partners. But you also have that down below, but not before the JB and Nephew match, right? They are also very well versed against each other. And this is literally the toughest bracket that you could ever imagine because all of these cats have played against each other outside of tournament on a very consistent basis.
Yeah, and on that match down there on the loser side, I'll make sure to call JB Nephew one time just to make it even here. But, you know, again, the reason why both of these players I hold in such a very similar stature right here. These are two players who, you know, essentially are transplanted from East Coast to the West Coast, and they have been two of the most consistently strong players, just dominating West Coast since moving out here. Nephew, of course, at one point in time when Punk was a temporary West Coaster, was rooming with Nephew and, you know, really helped Nephew level up quite a bit. JB, who is one of those crazy people who just came into the New York scene and started doing super well almost instantaneously right away. And, you know, wasn't one of those people, like, he is one of those crazy, success stories where he just came in and started doing damage and hasn't ever stopped since then. And so having those two go up against each other and having to have one of them get eliminated right now is brutal.
Yeah, that just kind of goes to show you the amount of talent in this pool here in the top 8 can pretty much go either way no matter what part of the bracket you're in. But I will say, I think a lot of it is hedged towards Chris CCH's success. I think in regards to percentage, I think Chris, again, he's dominated a majority of these World Warrior events. He's had such a meteoric rise from pretty much the pandemic since it started. He's been going on the up and up and has really found his way into understanding how Street Fighter V truly works, and has done a great job of also lifting up his community around him, his direct community of friends, to get him into where he needs to be alongside with them. Because again, we see Jot just as strong as ever. I think this is his strongest performance in Street Fighter V that we've seen. He's right there with them over in winners finals. And then down below, you also have another half of that friend group, but still it's friends all around. It's going to be JB versus Nephew. We're going to see who has to fall in order for the success to happen for some of these players.
Man.
It's so tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Again, both of these players, like I said, I kind of had them when I first looked at the bracket. These were two of the players that I thought were some of the favorites to be able to take this event. And to see them in the loser side, round number 2, one of them having to send the other one home already is brutal, but just an indication of how strong everyone is. But here we go. Nephew, JB, again, two players very familiar with each other. These two have fought each other so often in all of these West Coast tournaments that we have played.
We're going to see pretty much, I feel like it's going to go down to the wire, but just even off the bat, right? One thing to note, Nephew, not even trying to go for Luke, just immediately into the Colleen. A very big detail to mark because, again, he's been using Luke for a very, very long time since he's released.
Oh, just an optimal situation for Nephew there. Being one hit away from the stun, pixels away after a long combo. It's so nice because obviously if you stun them with the big long combo, there's a lot of scaling afterwards.
Sure.
But if you actually get them to the point where they're just one hit away and one jab will do it like it just did, that's easy victory at that point.
Optimal for JB. I don't know about Nephew, that's for sure. I think JB, again, being able to... I'm going to call them both the same, actually. We're just going to say... They're both JB.
JB and JB.
They're both Nephew.
They're both Nephew. Sounds like then Alex Vi is commentating, right? Because he calls everybody his nephew, right? So there you go. Oh, EX not gonna be enough to kill.
I'm always pretty shocked to see an EX spinning mixer actually hit because of how much it's changed in this version, right? So JB again really taking the risk and assessing when he can actually utilize that EX spinning mixer. It requires a little bit more thought, significantly more thought than just putting it out there.
Yeah, just a little bit slower on startup. It has the chance to actually just be safely meatied, but JB finding the hit and taking game number 1.
We'll see how this plays out. Again, JB pretty much striking first blood. I wonder if there would have been another way for Nephew to kind of test his wits with Luke first and then go into Colleen. But after a very convincing win that he got over Yanoob, I think he's just trying to ride this momentum and play this character. But this also kind of plays to JB's benefit, I feel like. I think JB has a lot more experience with the Colleen match than Yanoob does, especially with this character, right?
Yeah, I mean, almost had the stun right there. I mean, that last round was, you know, just basically JB on pure offense over there. And hearing it's just continuing round after round after round. I feel like, okay, that was a nice activation and whiff punish. Okay, so maybe here's a chance for Nephew. Colleen can definitely get the sequence going, but the wake up sweep. And okay, still able to punish despite the tornado being there, despite the SR being there. And here we go. The cross up into the air throw should be enough. Should be enough. Yes. Nephew with the comeback.
And even if it wasn't, you know, the stun was definitely there. So Nephew, either way, he would have had himself a checkmate scenario. But JB now starting things off. The big interruption, yes sir. Crouching jab into the EX Parabellum. Nephew threading the needle once more against JB's block string, or fake block string, I should say, into the EX Tornado. And now just a ton of hits just landing from the side of JB against Nephew. Again, trying to bait him into pressing the button, at least trying to interrupt the tornado, but at a different distance and off of a different normal now.
Activation, but again, JB has just been dominating this neutral right now, like he's pointed out. Nephew running to a bunch of buttons, but there's the single hit confirmed for Nephew into the ice spike to get towards the corner position. But look at this, JB found the button, the side switch, and here we go. The throw and one guess for mix, yeah, a guess for win. There it is, right there. The shimmy is gonna find its mark. JB trying to go up 2-0.
Oh, we know what happens when that score occurs, right, James? We might potentially see it again, especially when JB's in the mix. We might see it again, even with Nephew.
Well, yeah, but JB might be the one that's on the top with the 2-0, and then he has to stave off the 0-2 comeback. Here comes Nephew, and again, Nephew had the 2-0 comeback himself. So, man, I can't believe all the 0-2 comeback players keep running into each other.
Yeah, but it becomes like, it pretty much cancels each other out, right? When you put them together like that. I think it's going to be a very convincing W, but it really depends on who's who, right? Nephew already getting himself in a very optimal position. We talk about that. Oh, that could have been stunned, but still, JB, his defense has been phenomenal. The V-shift, speaking of phenomenal defense, nice use of V-shift out of harm's way. Nephew looking outside the box. You can do EX Parabellum. You can finish it off with an air grab. Arm bar. Not too bad from Nephew. Tying it up one piece.
Yeah, that V-shift changed so many things, you know. No more of these, you know, Gil Ice mix-ups or these Asar mix-ups or Hail coming at you, you know. Like, the V-shift has just added such another layer to being able to escape these scenarios. And you can see how it has affected some of these characters. Definitely hurt characters like Urian, you know, obviously the Aegis Reflector kind of nerfed a little bit in that way. And it's just, it's such a valuable tool to have, but of course, using it means you aren't activating your V trigger, right? And that's the trade-off right there.
Truly, it truly is. We're going to see, again, it's all tied up one apiece between these two competitors. It's going to be very, very difficult to call who is actually going to maintain the lead or actually take the lead and keep it because of how most of these games between these two individuals have gone pretty much haywire towards the end of it, right? We're going to keep utilizing that joke, I promise you. It's only the beginning of the night. But it's going to be Ken.
Ken whoa. What? Okay.
Oh, what?
Round one.
Okay.
Fight.
We've got a surprise Ken out of nowhere. Now, obviously, Ken considered the strongest, you know, traditional Shoto. Obviously, Luke is the strongest, quote, Shoto But, you know, between Ken, Ryu, and Akuma right now, a lot of people saying that Ken might be the strongest one at this point. But right now, it's looking like it's all Nephew still.
Yeah, this is the kind of space that I feel like Nephew's going to be able to dominate. But again, JB taking a page out of his own Rashid, but being able to sneak in and deal some of that damage. I like that. Not afraid of the checks.
Yeah, a little bit too early on that throw. Found his way in, wasn't expecting it to hit and be a counter hit, but yeah, that's not real either.
Didn't even get the combo, didn't get a full punish. The throw bait is there. Nephew, man, they are flubbing it up 2 times over, too many times over.
Oh boy. Here we go. Corner position. Ken gonna season 1 Ken here. With the crazy comeback. Oh, I don't believe this. What? No. Oh no!
What is happening?
No, corner!
He did it again. JB did the thing. He put himself in the corner. Oh,
he tried to Alex Vi him. That was how Alex Vi defeated Mike Watson in Alpha 1. The first time Alex Vi defeated Mike Watson. Empty jump into EX DP, except Vi did the super. Same concept. But he actually tried to Alex Vi Nephew right there. Because I remember Watson telling the story and how mad he was about it.
Oh my god. Look at the amount of damage coming in. Oh, I think he was looking for a bust out from JB. I think he intentionally dropped it to see whether or not JB was mashing on EXDP.
Right.
He was sitting there. Nephew was just absolutely just sitting there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this Ken hasn't really been. Oh, that's it right there. I don't feel like the Ken really worked here. So let's see if JB goes back to the Rashid. I mean, he did win 1 game with Rashid versus Nephew, so it's weird that he went for this change. But I have the feeling he's probably going to go back. Yeah. Opponent currently in the way. Yeah, okay.
Hey, James.
Oh, I almost. Yeah.
It was Alpha 2, my man. Alpha 2.
Oh, was it Alpha 2?
Alpha 2. Okay, I couldn't beat him in Alpha 1. Alpha 1.
Okay.
Yeah, he threw me around. He beat my ass up with Guy. He did all the redizzy stuff. And then the funny thing is like this is like one of the first times I first met him, and then I got so mad that I'm like, all right, do you want to play other Street Fighters? They have Super Turbo and whatever, right? And he looks at me, he kind of laughs, he goes, are you sure? Okay. And he beats me up even worse in the old on the classic games. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Old school stories, man. I love it. You gotta love the old school stories here.
Yeah, man. I didn't expect Vi to come out as the voice of God from out of nowhere.
I mean, like I said,
James, as a matter of fact, it was Alpha 2.
Yeah, I've been saying, like, I keep flubbing these details a little bit here, and it's, look, when you're getting this old, man, the senility starts kicking in. Look, I'm trying my best here, okay?
It's in the
I'm trying
name,
my
right?
best.
It's in the name, JC Nile, right?
Yep, exactly. Hey, don't give away my secret account here, dude.
I have like 5 of them. You'll never catch me. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, everybody knows what my account is, dude. It's all good.
You could get a back throw for possible stun. No, it's going to be the forward throw.
Oh, forward throw. Not enough to stun here. But yeah, you see, look at this, the Rashid. I mean, I guess, you know, JB just wanted to try it out a little bit, see what happens. And, you know, I respect it because in tournament situations like this, you're in loser's bracket round 2 right now. You know what? I want to see if I can learn some Ken as well. Put Ken in that pressure situation, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. So the Rashid definitely looking strong, though.
Absolutely it is. And it's so difficult right now for Nephew to keep JB contained, I should say. But yeah, out of the corner, that last tail end of spinning mixer. Hey, that's not a bad trade-off at all for Nephew. Just a little bit of damage, but you get out of the corner for free.
Oh yeah.
Not for free, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
for
great.
that price, that's a steal.
Okay. Ooh. Trying to check him. Nice. Confirm into the EX. Doesn't go for the full spinning mixer so he can get some better Oki afterwards.
Oof. Oh, yeah, he tried to defend against it, but too much damage taken. JB could get 1 solid mix. Oh, that's huge.
That's a juggle. That's a juggle.
Wow.
Got him. And a beautiful conversion by JB. And showing why his Rashid is one of the best in the business here. Nicely done.
That was such a really, really fortunate time for JB to get that trade combo. He was absolutely ready for it. He knew exactly that situation from all the years of him seeing it and recognizing it, right? So that's very, very solid to keep having that situation occur. JB just forcing that error upon Nephew.
Yeah, and here we go, 2-2, final game here. Who is going to advance and who is going to be sent home? And it's all JB right now. Can't even get out of the corner with just a raw jump, but here we go. Nephew finding the hit, but it wasn't an EX, so that was all he got off of that. But he does get the activation here. And here you go. Oh, JB jumping up and just eating the 2 hail.
Oh, good interruption there.
Checking
Off of the
forward
jabs.
dash, yeah. Trying to sneak in there with a crouch light kick. This time gets in there with a dash jab into the throw, but another check from JB. JB is not letting Nephew steal any of these turns with these forward dashes.
Good defense.
Oh, but the shimmy. That should do it. Nope, not quite, not quite.
Just one touch away. Could be a counter hit off of a light, but it's still either man's game.
And he's got trigger. He's got trigger activation. So Colleen on ice skates, still very scary. Sets up the hail. Chases him down off of the jump. What?
I thought JB was going to be able to land and check Nephew, but I think, yeah, I don't know if that interaction would have worked out. Nephew, very fortunate to get that. Does get the check standing medium punch. Parabellum, sweep into the ice hands again. Parabellum. Applying pressure to JB. He's still stuck in this corner. What is he going to do? He's plotting, right? He's going back down, but let's find an opening. That air reset could have been detrimental to JB, but still the hail. Oh, God. There's so much pressure from Nephew.
Dude, it was all looking like JB in the last round, and I thought he was going to be the one at match point, but Nephew now at match point with all of the advantage here, with the big life lead. Can JB make this comeback? It's not about the down 0-2 games, it's down 0-1 rounds here. Can he bring it to a final round? No!
Oh, another big check. This is huge. The amount of meter you get spent off this. You get the EX Parabellum back. You get this Hailstorm. Tick throw set up. Nothing from it. JB not getting punished, but he's one medium away. Oh, that's a big sweep. Watch out for the side.
And now you got to block this, but that's the end of that V-trigger. V-shift out of there. So now JB, he just got to find a hit. No, he spins the meter for the EX. And just the scramble at the end, using the EX vanity step to go through the tornado. A little bit of a scramble there, and Nephew is going to clutch it out and take it 3-2 over JB.
It could have gone either way. It really could have gone either way. I will say the only thing I will question is, James, what are you drinking? Okay, I thought you were drinking something. I thought you were drinking like a soda or something like midway through.
No. I was just...
Okay, you're exhaling. Got it. All right. But yeah, I mean, I feel like during the set, the mix or the change up between Rashid, there it is. Rashid to Ken was just slightly questionable, just only slightly, because I know what JB is capable of. I know he has the confirms like that as well, but it's just like I feel his Rashid wasn't doing too poorly at all. If he had that extra game, I wonder if it would have been like the big difference between life or death in the bracket.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're going to be thinking about that Ken pick for a while, right? You'll be thinking about that for a little bit. Definitely felt like it was kind of a game that he just, I mean, I don't want to call it a throwaway because obviously he was competitive in that match, but it just wasn't the same as the Rashid. But, you know, again, like I said, you got to hand it to somebody to try to experiment with these, you know, secondary characters, because if you want, a lot of times these fighting games, you got to learn more than one character to handle some bad matchups and such. So, you know, definitely can't blame JB for giving that a shot. Did come back to bite him, perhaps, but we're moving on to the next match here, and it is going to be Filipino Man and Flaquito.
It doesn't get any easier either to call these matches, right? Now you have Filipino Man versus Flaquito, Rose versus Chun-Li. Filipino Man opting to go against the mirror match. Yikes.
Going with the Chun-Li. This is before Rose. This was his character. This is who he was doing well with in season 1. And even before Rose came out, he had started a little bit of a comeback with the Chun-Li. And then when Rose came out, it was just like, that's it. Everything is Rose. But doesn't want to do the mirror match, like you said.
There's been a lot of Filipino Man over the years of Street Fighter V, but I think his Chun-Li and Rose have probably been the most consistent, not just a little bit tough to manage, but he also piloted that character pretty well, I would say. Again, into it now. Filipino Man in dire straits. Flaquito has been flexing on that. That was actually pretty cool. I haven't seen that in a while.
Was nice. Wow. Yeah, I got to imagine Rose versus Rose is just one of those like really kind of uncomfortable matches because you're both just like trying to dance in and out of the same range as each other.
And between the two, I think Flakito has always been like the aggressor in regards to that mirror match between him and Filipino Man. For the Rose mirror match. Nice.
Strike invul, getting right through there. A nice, oh, actually, it was able to punish that landing. And again, that's definitely a I know Rose kind of situation. So no EX legs after that towards medium punch counter hit.
Oh, still gets it. The big confirm off of the low medium kick instead. Filipino Man now trying to initiate some sort of offense against Flakito, now pushing him to the corner, but no, the activation is there. You could expect a side switch, and that's why Filipino Man had backed off. Very smart.
Right. And you always have to remember, Rose, when she teleports, she can only go to the other side. So if you see her teleport, you know you're supposed to switch around, but the problem is the timing at which they teleport. Where is the fireball on top of you, right? Is it a left or right when she teleports?
Filipino Man still has the trigger on deck. He could do something unsafe and make a true, not unsafe, sorry. He could make a frame trap out of the V-Trigger 2 still off of certain normals. Because you can interrupt sometimes if there's enough space, but there's 10 seconds on the clock just about now. Okay, Flakito. Oh my god! Soul Spiral to EX Soul Spiral. He actually slid past the Hazdan to punish it. That was ridiculous. What an exchange.
I don't even know what happened there. Like, I just saw two characters flailing and then one of them died. And I was like, wait, what? What? Like, I could barely read the interaction there. And Flakito, sweeps the Hazanshu. Sweeps the Hazanshu for the win. And and now look, we're going to the lobby. So are we bringing out the Rose and the Rose? I mean, a Rose by any other name would be just as deadly here. So let's see if Filipino Man brings out his Rose for the mirror match.
Let's do this.
We're going to see how this plays out. Again, this is very difficult to call if it's going to be the Rose mirror match. I feel like Flakito, again, has been the aggressor. He actually does have the positive win record against Filipino Man, at least within the World Warrior series. There have been a handful of Wednesday night fights that they've been a part of, but that wasn't even counting this current state of Rose, right? The last time they actually played was over on a Run It Thursdays event for Street Fighter V. Again, that one actually was pretty heated. It was pretty close to the grand finals. But going into
here we go, Flakito in the dark Rose over here, and Filipino Man in the blue Rose over here on the second player side. Flakito going with the black and red Rose, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay, I was like, stop glowing, Rose, so I can tell what color you are. This air fireball, but still a little bit slow from the air. Wasn't able to punish that anti-air attempt. Here we go, activation time.
Oh, what a whip punish against the crouching medium kick.
And then the shimmy finding its mark. Here we go, close to stun. Another pseudo shimmy. And here we go, big damage on this combo. It's enough to kill. And Flakito, as you mentioned, on the offense here, taking round number 1.
Already throwing out the cards. You got a double tarot reading? No, just only one. Only table for one reader.
Oh, man. I mean, if both of these are prophets and seers here, like, how does this work, right? If they both can predict each other's moves, what do you do? Nice.
I don't know how to answer that. Oh, the back throw side switch.
Oh,
what's there? Even though it hit, wasn't really safe after that. So,
what a chase down
from Anton. Oh my God, Filipino Man can take it. Jesus, what a risk. What a big bet onto the other side.
Oh, got him! But actually out of the air, so the Fierce just planted him on the floor. Otherwise, he might have been able to get a little bit more damage off of that. Oh, the hit! And then just goes for the tick throw. Just goes for it. Didn't believe that Flakito was going to have the tech ready to go. And there it is. Filipino Man ties it up 1-1.
It's too close for comfort. Too close for comfort in this matchup. Filipino Man does have 2 bars under his name. And now Flakito again being able to establish dominance after throwing that first purple card. And that's going to be quite problematic, right?
That's
Or at least it was.
Right there. Ooh, wow, got in there with the perfect distance on that slide to be able to combo after it as well. Oh, blocked in time, but not a punish. It was safe enough. And here we go again, baiting Filipino Man for the throw. This is something that Flaquito seems to understand about Filipino Man, that Filipino Man does have a tendency perhaps to try to tech throws a lot. But there's the combo on the ground. Big damage, setup. What's the setup? Throws him out of the EX.
Start, he's on glow. Flaquito,
Yeah, but
there's the raw activation. Oh, and I love that response from Flaquito to counter Filipino Man's last attempt at that final trigger, but there's one left from Flaquito. Filipino Man can't do anything with large recovery because he might get punished.
oh, walks up and gets the throw. That throw range that Rose has. Oh, fierce missed. Oh my God. That, I can't believe that slide missed. Is that enough to kill? Oh my God. It killed. And it's 1-1. Oh. Oh man.
That genuinely could have been anybody's game.
And there's the prediction right there, right? Rose is gonna win that match. That was my prediction. And there you go. Filipino Man takes it, and it's 1-1. Man.
That's tough. That I thought it was gonna be Flaquito getting the V trigger and clipping Anton mid-air with that heavy punch. It was just barely outside of range. And since that moment, Anton or Filipino Man was able to take that moment away or back away and get the tie game. That throw did just enough damage on Rose. I didn't expect it to do that much damage, or at least to be able to kill.
Right.
She's got
Yeah.
950. She's a pretty sizable character. She's got 950 health, and it could have been maybe like a magic pixel, but that wasn't the case.
All right. Well, I mean, we did go back to the lobby. Does that mean a trigger change, a skill change? What do we get? Or do we get a character change? No. Okay. Same character over here. So both of them running V skill 1 and V trigger 1. So here we go.
Round one. Fight.
I love the RNG from the cards too. I wonder if Flaquito's gonna stick to this green one because we've seen him actually throw it a couple of times over. Oof.
Oh.
I don't know what that was, but Flaquito went jump medium punch.
Yeah, and Filipino Man crouch under with a crouching medium punch. We got some that was like Alpha 3 status right there. Anti-airing with a crouching medium punch. What is going on here? We've got all the alpha games in tow over here.
I mean, she is an alpha character, so it makes sense.
Activation, here we go. Oh, the challenge. Didn't decide to go with the EX. There he is, the EX fireball. Catching Filipino Man with Filipino Man's favorite trick from the Street Fighter 4 days, that close medium kick, the unthrowable medium kick. It's not close any.
Oh, they're charging up for the V skill. They want to get full V trigger to get the party going, and I get it. And they both get to settle on red card as well. But it's Flaquito who strikes first, a little bit faster on the draw, and Filipino Man might live to regret it, or so I thought. Wait a minute.
Oh, too far for the throw for both of them. Nice, getting through there, not a true block string. Jumping to get hit out of the air makes that combo a little more awkward. Here we go. Filipino Man gets the hit. He's got to get the comeback here, but nice backdash. What the? Oh my God, that didn't punish in time?
That exchange was so fascinating to watch. That was actually pretty ridiculous. After that, for the throw, we do have a critical art on deck for Filipino Man. Any big opener could potentially kill out of there. V-reversal.
I love that V-reversal. Needs one hit here for the super. Blocks that in time. No cancel.
Oh, you're going to get chipped.
The kill. He's just going to chip it out. Go for it. There you go. Oh, God. I never would have expected Rose to be this incredibly action-packed. Holy crap.
Do it again. Charge up the V-skill again. Do it again. Oh, no.
Nope.
He's not trying to
this time.
I'm trying to win.
And now getting the bullet hell set up for Flaquito, but actually they don't have the satellite, so not going to be able to do that as effectively. But there we go. Again, that's the second time we've seen Flaquito get through there. And yeah, Rose's sweep, good enough range to be able to punish that at mostly max distance.
Or at least within range. I love that
Just goes for the teleport to get to the other side. Nice call out. And there it is again. Unthrowable. Standing medium kick. And that's going to be in range for a combo. Oh,
that was
hit
sick.
the fireball with the fierce.
Oh, he tried to do it. Yeah, I don't know if it works that way. I think that has to be off of the fuzzy setting.
Yeah, and either that or Rose just might be too small when she's crouching or something. But Flaquito does take it and goes up 2-1 here against Filipino Man in this Rose mirror. Ugh.
I don't want to be around when we go to the same Christmas party later on this year. I don't want to know what happens between these two. Nor do I want to talk about how I had to commentate this match with James Shen over there in person. It's going to be rough.
Oh, too far away to punish that. So there we go. Gets the card set up here. And here we go. Back to this full screen game here. Look at this projectile game against each other here.
Oh.
Just setting out sparks and fireballs and cards and all sorts of things.
Bang! 2 back-to-back whip punishes from Filipino Man. And we didn't really get to see that purple card, or I think it was the red card come to fruition. I think it was the purple one, right? I think he tossed out the purple. You do get
That just
significantly
tells you
more damage off the blocks.
What a whiff punish right there. And now, Filipino Man just chilling in the corner there. Flaquito definitely has the position advantage, but Filipino Man definitely has the resource advantage. There you go. There's one of them spent, but he's still got a V-trigger ready to go. There's the activation finally. How is Filipino Man going to use this? I like the forward jump from Flaquito. That's one of the ways to counter that. If you see her throw that fireball or slide, that works too.
So smart, too, just getting out of the danger. But Flaquito now, that could have been so dangerous for Filipino Man. He's still stuck in this corner, using it again. Standing medium kick is the way for Flaquito. Watch out for the tech. Yep, you knew it. Flaquito looking at match point, getting a big punish on Filipino Man. And again, utilizing that standing medium kick against him, being thrown in from like frames 5 and later on. That's so difficult to contest against. His strike throw game has been phenomenal this far.
Yeah, Flaquito's definitely had the advantage in that situation here. And, you know, a lot of people, I mean, again, I don't know what their history is with the Rose-Rose matchup, but, you know, a lot of people, I'm sure, probably expected maybe Filipino Man to have an advantage of that, being the veteran. But there's a reason why he probably didn't go with that matchup right at the start. Didn't spend the meter yet for the super. Gonna try to make sure it's in kill range because having the EX is too valuable. Just like that, but look at this. Ooh, Flaquito with the movement basically too far away for the slide.
Look at this again with 1 bar piece. Either one. Oh man, you're setting up to change cards right in front of Filipino Man. No chance to get a whiff punish though. We do have the green card installed on Filipino Man. Not gonna play a huge detriment, I feel like. Yeah, not too bad.
Got him with the EX Soul Spark, and actually is gonna be able to connect from that range on the counter hit.
Uh-oh.
That's punishable. Oh my god. Try to jump out of there. Can't quite get out of there quick. That's a dash. Didn't punish it in time.
I was gonna say if that was blocked again, it would have been punishable by death. No, the cross up is there! Oh no, the damage off the wall. That's not gonna kill. He's setting up for punish. The throw.
Oh, went for the throw. It was tech, but Filipino Man, remember, he got defeated by the shimmy the previous time, and so Flaquito goes for the throw this time and takes it. After one tech, you know, Filipino Man's like, I tech this throw. You know what? You're gonna try to shimmy me this time, and Flaquito was like, nah, I'm gonna just keep throwing, and it worked. Flaquito moves on in the loser side of the bracket.
That could have been either or. Just taking a look at the bracket too, like that could have just gone either way with the way that they've been playing. But I think it's Flaquito who has had the slightly better record than Filipino Man, but it's not even by like a significant margin at that. So it could have gone by the wayside. Again, Filipino Man opting to use Chun-Li first, didn't really get to work out as much as he would like it to, but the Rose also slowly making that comeback happen. It was just a matter of who's gonna pretty much let up in regards to the strike throw game. I think that's what it all revolved around, especially in the corner. I think Flaquito's corner pressure is super significant in regards to all the other Rose players out there. He's really starting to show how, well, I don't know if I should really isolate this kind of tactic just because he understands full well what Filipino Man's defensive tendencies are like, right?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the nature of the mirror matches, right? When you have a mirror match, You know, a lot of times when you're playing matches that are outside, not mirror matches, you're trying to find the distance advantage. You're trying to find the position on the screen that where you have the advantage. When both characters are the same, you kind of have to default to the main mix-up mechanic of the game. And since Street Fighter V is so largely about the attack, throw, shimmy mix-up, that's where a lot of it is going to come down to, because there's no positional advantage for either Rose at any distance, because that's just mirror matches in general.
Yeah.
So
it's a fair assessment.
You know, there's only two ways. There's advantage and disadvantages of mirror matches, right? Number one, if side positioning, if one side acts differently than the other side. Number
if the
two,
game has a bug like that,
and number two, loadouts. One loadout is definitely stronger than the other. That's it.
Yeah, with the V-Trigger 1 and the V-Trigger 2, yeah, depending on that, but they were using the same one, so that was the true mirror. But here we go. It is now the winners finals here. Chris CCH, of course, is the favorite of this tournament, coming in here seated number 1, but Jot has been playing ridiculous with this Cody and starts off strong over here with the side switch on the final fight chain.
Yeah, I do like that extra insight there from Vi too, and it makes sense too. When your back is towards the corner, it doesn't matter if there's any sort of like weird glitches in the corner. I think it's a matter of not having that kind of space away from your opponent to even try to play like the range game, right? Not being able to utilize some of your normals. But for someone like Chris CCH, it doesn't really matter, right? He's already been playing off against the wall more often than not, and still finding a way to bust out with his offense. But we'd see the trigger on deck for Chris CCH. He's going to be big chilling with it, and I love the defense. The big tech away from Jot as soon as that Zombuckles popped out.
Walks back as well. Oh no, I thought that was actually gonna reach. Wasn't quite in range. He gets the jump, the suppressor, but it's not gonna be enough to kill yet. Jot still has a chance here. He spends the rest of that V-Trigger plus frames. He goes for the throw. Chris didn't believe, he thought he was gonna go for the shimmy. Last time Jot did go for the, I think he went for the throw last time, and Chris CCH actually teched it.
He did.
So I think Chris thought he was going to go for the shimmy that time.
We do get a counter conversion into the triple impact, back medium punch, suppressor, just applying a ton of plus frames from Chris CCH. The defense has been pretty good from Jot. That Grey Life is adding up, but it's just adding fuel to the tank that is Cody and the knife. Ooh. Yep, you got to pay that toll, buddy. You got to go in with that cross up DP, but it's still rapid fire coming in from Jot.
He still has the corner position, but then runs into the Sandblaster into the activation. But there's that plus frames again. This time decides to go for the low, maybe catch Chris CCH walking backwards. Not going to happen. This time, suppressor into the trigger is going to kill.
I'm kind of nervous for Jot once he gets into this corner as well. I wonder if Chris CCH would hit him with the Nauman, where you anti-air with suppressor and get a full sequence with the charged up flash knuckle afterwards. That would be pretty cool. But Jot not even letting Chris CCH get that moment. Big punish on the stand jab. Again, pretty big enough because you get decent damage, but more importantly, this corner positioning. Triple ruffian. Get some of that meter back.
And then that should be able to do it right there. Had the EX Zonk all charged up and ready to go. And Jot with game number 1. I mean, look, does the Jot armor even work against Chris CCH?
It's working right now. He's got 1 W, right? It's clearly working against Chris CCH. From majority of the games that they've played against each other, Chris CCH has had the W. Like in World Warrior 3, he's taken him down with the reset. We talked about this earlier. He had met him in grand finals, taking him down, and even in the top 8. Oh, actually, no, vice versa, right? Chris CCH had sent Jot into losers initially. Jot made it back into grand finals, and still, after the reset, fell short to Chris 3-0 at the very end of it. But still, Jot armor has been shining pretty bright for this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talk about how strong Luke is, but Cody is making... Oh, no, actually, well, I mean, Cody's... What? Dude, we're seeing some, a little bit of, like, a little bit of slops from players here. Nice. Gets the anti-air. Chris CCH with a pretty significant light fleet at this point. And has all the resources as well, but Jot still working with that knife. See how slow that V-Trigger's draining, but doesn't matter. Chris CCH gets the hit and gets the win here. Trying to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, he was just big chilling too. Chris CCH, he didn't have anything to really lose on that point. But yeah, the standing light kick, being able to counter with Jot, utilizing the EX Zonk afterwards. Such a sharp angle, can't. He had to let him go for free. Uh-oh, that was a bit
that was supposed to be an autocorrect. That was supposed to be a crosscut. Came out as a super, very unfortunate for Chris CCH.
Is the Jot armor real? Is it actually real? That right there, ladies and gentlemen, answers that question.
Wow. Wow. Just one of those really unfortunate situations. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, the what is it, the name of the guy at the end of time writing the script out for the Jot armor over here. Oh, but Chris CCH coming back in here. Corner pressure. Oh, that's going to be a stun. The meaty. He was trying to perhaps check Chris CCH with a forward dash or something. And now Chris CCH on the verge. No, he's got it. There it is. Tying it up 1-1.
Did you make a Kang the Conqueror reference just now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like...
Thank you for catching that. The Loki reference, yes.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, wait a minute. Writing the script at the end of time. Oh, I saw that one. I gotta say, Jonathan Majors was such a good actor for that. I gotta say, he
so
played
cool.
that role so well, dude. But
That's why I'm excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Quantumanium. Quantumania is the one.
yeah,
That's going on.
that's the one.
Yep. Nice. Yep, the level 2, so he gets the link off of that. That Zonk Knuckle buff they gave to Cody, man. That turned Cody from like a strong character just to one of the most terrifying characters in existence.
Well, he's going off against the other terrifying character. That is Luke again. We're getting so many different looks after throw, but we do get the bust out there from Jot.
We all remember Momochi draining a full life meter off of a crouch light into activation. So every time I see Cody do light into activate, I just like I get so nervous.
You're expecting like 30%, I feel like, off of crouching light kick. Then it can all go downhill. But this is a great position if you're Chris, right? Having trigger, not having to worry about meter just yet. You could get a full conversion, EX Flash Knuckle if need be, and then lead into to Rock Smasher, but Jot's gonna make him earn it. But now this is the problem. Oh, it's over. It's over. It's totally fine. Chris CCH again with a heavy impact. That forward roundhouse just taking up so much space, and it's within range of the normals that Cody wants to press, right? It just stuffs out a lot of the mediums.
I mean, there's characters with the good crush counters, and Luke definitely with that button right there, just a crush counter and being able to convert so much damage off of it. Single hit confirm. That one was an easier confirm because he saw Jot try to hit a button. Chris CCH trying to defeat this Jot armor here. Oh, whip punish, but
oh no!
He was going. I think he thought that was a counter hit or he was in range, but it was outside of range. Here we go.
He thought he was going to be safe after that sequence after the lights, but now it's Jot coming back in. We've seen people come back from worse, but it's against Luke. You never know when that gun is going to fire. That is always loaded from Chris CCH. Any sort of movement can get checked, and it could lead to catastrophic results. I gotta say, man, Chris CCH doing a great job of taking down the Jot armor round after round, game after game.
Chris CCH, you know, definitely trying to flip the script here. And he is one game away now from getting into grand finals, where I'm sure at this point in time he feels like he belongs. Because again, you know, for the long time in early Street Fighter V, he was doing damage with the Sakura, and people were talking about, yo, this Chris CCH kid from PNW is so strong, and now here he is, probably the favorite in the West.
Oh, get him off.
Oh, yeah, you're done right there. You're done right there. Ooh, Jot, you know, definitely continue. I mean, look, we've all the comebacks here. Maybe that's just part of the Jot armor, right? I mean, maybe that's just what it is.
Slowly grinding away at the mentality of Chris CCH, or at the mental, just not the mentality, but trying to put that mental stack on him. What are you going to do to guess after the Zonk Knuckle? It's not even like about the ground game or the air approach. It's either throw or hit, really, when it comes to EX Zonk. But as long as Chris CCH can prevent those moments from happening, or at least prep himself well and brace for it, then I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, but here comes that Chris CCH oppression in the corner here. Tried to frame trap off the stand. Oh, did get it that time into the Rock Smasher, but here we go. Light kick into the EX Zonk, the classic.
That actually stuffed out the suppressor. You saw the start of the suppressor getting absolutely countered. Jot had the right read against it. This should be game.
You might be dead. You might be dead.
Oh.
The damage.
No! He pressed the button. He could have gone for a different. He could have gone for a different sequence for more damage, I believe. I think he could have gone for a different sequence.
Yeah, I think he dropped the combo. I think he dropped it actually. And that is unfortunate. Nerves, maybe? Tournament nerves? Maybe that's the anti-Jot armor right there. Is just, you can't do it if you have the tournament nerves and the stud. Look at this. Jot is absolutely shook right now, knowing that he probably should have had that round, and Chris CCH gonna finish it off with the perfect.
You hate to see it. You truly hate to see it. And in that fashion with the perfect. Jot, I think maybe he didn't have like a charge up on the Zonk, possibly. Like if he could have gone to maybe like a Zonk into like off the wall and get some extra damage off of that. I can't tell. James, as he sniffs his fingers, he can't figure out for the life of him what had happened just now. But Chris CCH, I gotta say, super impressive in making that comeback happen, or not necessarily a comeback, but also just like keeping himself composed throughout the entirety of that set. That could have gone either way. That genuinely could have gone either way, and Jot just let it slip a little bit too soon. He had it, man.
It's I mean, you know what Ketsui in the chat says is his brain thinking about the previous round. That's the thing, is I keep saying in fighting games, you have to remember everything. Like last time he was +2 in this situation, what were the last 3 interactions and what stories to tell? But then at the same time, you have to be able to forget everything. Like when you have a bad round, like you drop a combo for the win, you have to be able to forget that and adjust it. It's just one of the hardest dances in fighting game. Forcing yourself to remember and forget all the information that you need to remember and to forget.
It's all about compartmentalizing, right? You see those kind of situations, like, oh, what did I do here last time? Instead of trying to think about it all the time. I think both of those players do a great job of compartmentalizing some of those situations and some of the specific strategies that need to be. And we have 2 more players, again, coming up, Nephew and Fakito. They're doing the exact same right now here for their shot in the loser semifinals. It could be a close call either way, but we're looking at it right now. It's been very, very active on both ends.
Oh, yeah. Look at this, just going at against each other over here. And again, Nephew just coming off of that win over JB 3-2. Fakito defeating Filipino Man in the Rose Mirror. And so who's going to take this one? Oh, it's still in range for that sweep to connect. Plus enough for the sweep to connect. Oh, sick, but you're scared. The suppressor, the challenge, but it was too far away. Oh my God, that didn't connect.
Does it again.
Dude, the classic, right? You throw out a move, and when the opponent thinks to himself, wow, I'm not in time to whiff punish it, so I'll take advantage of it by walking forward. That's why double sweep works, right? You know, you're taking advantage of somebody's slow, just slightly slow reaction. So Fakito throwing that out, you see right there the whiff, and then you walk forward afterwards. That's why a lot of times when you whiff, you just hit the move again. You're like, screw it, just do it again. But what a jump timing from Nephew. Here we go.
Dash up. We did see an EX attempt from Fakito. It might have been Soul Spiral. It is vulnerable to the throws. There it is. Yep. Does find the mark. Gets a free activation. Nephew jumping out of harm's way instead. Gets a thermal Derrick after the Rock Smasher. Building up some meter, I guess. Or a celebration. Little mini pop off there with the rising rocket full screen.
Oh, he tried to counter. He tried to counter. Didn't work. What a tech. What a tech by Nephew. Stays alive. Is in range to get the counter sweep. Oh boy, yeah, you're so scared of that Sandblaster from full screen. Oh, activates the Soul Satellite. You gotta be careful. The timing, the perfect timing to slide into the Soul Satellite. No, the Soul Satellite's gone. Sends out another Soul Spark. No Sandblasters from Nephew.
Oh
no! All right, you think Nephew's gonna switch? His loop hasn't been looking.
No way.
Colleen, you don't think so?
No way, dude. He had that. He definitely had that. That was just unfortunate. Like, you can't You can't call that off. You can't switch off of a mistake like that. There's no way. Oh, he's gonna do it. Dang it. Y'all are gonna do it. Man, that looked so, I don't know. Like, I don't think it was too bad for Nephew.
Oh, for sure. Not too bad at all. But, oh, man. Okay. But, I mean, like I said, his Colleen was just looking so smooth, right? His Colleen was looking so in control. And so, let's see if that's what he actually goes to do.
I would like it, to be honest with you. That'd be very, very fitting for Nephew to try to make it through to Capcom Cup in this fashion. But there's just so many other players to go through, right? Flaquito is only one of, like, what I feel like is the Elite Four. You know, Flaquito had already done the job for at least one of them, unfortunately, but you still have the remaining three. You have Flaquito, Jot, and Chris CCH. This is a matchup he actually has been practicing with, like, over on for Run It Thursdays, as well as some of, I don't know about the World Warriors, but I've definitely seen this Cody from the World Warriors, or sorry, the Run It Thursday series as well.
Yeah. I mean, the one time I ran into Nephew online, he was playing Ed. So I know he's been searching, or he's been soul searching for a lot of characters here. And we've already seen the power that Cody has, right? Oh, ooh, good trade. And the stun, look at this. Nephew's Cody doing some damage.
Yeah, this is a matchup he's actually utilized. Actually, he's played this character against Chris CCH, if I'm not too mistaken, or not too long ago, actually. He actually played off against, in the World Warrior series, against Chris CCH's Bison. Ooh, in the grand finals.
What?
Yeah. That's no, I'm dead serious.
That's so odd.
It truly is. But that was,
nice. And gets the juggle. Tries to go for the throw. Yep. Crouching heavy punch as a knockdown now. What are the buffs that he got? That was so nice. Plus frames. Goes for the throw. And Nephew's Cody. Plus frames. Goes for the low this time. And yeah, he can't challenge after that knife. Look at all this chip damage. He's down to no health. One tiny hit is all he needs. All the standing. You saw the standing medium kick whip into the do it again, right? We've been talking about that as the classic.
It's tough. It's tough to try to whip punish, man.
Oh.
You miss time it once, you're gonna eat a ton of damage.
Oh.
Nothing. No whip punishes. Jeez, Nephew. Oh, that was so smart.
He threw him past the tornado. Oh my God, Flaquito, do you have this in you?
Oh, he tried to sway. He tried to crime sway past the heavy punch, but it wasn't gonna happen. That was actually kind of slick. It was a good idea, but I did not think. Yeah, that's not invincible to standing normals. That's the thing. If he had done the crime sway high, he would have been just fine actually.
Dude, I can't believe Flaquito got all the way through that, and now, oh man, again, Nephew. Gotta just forget that. And Nephew is the kind of player that I'm sure. Oh my God, you read the sway and punished it with jumping EX Fireball? Oh my goodness. Flaquito right now playing so smart. Nephew trying to put in this work. The Cody looked so strong, but then Flaquito with that comeback. And then everything turned around, but actually, here we go. Cody, perhaps one more combo could take it. Here we go. Stun? Yes. Jesus. How much damage can he do? He's still got a V-trigger. He's got to go for a reset, perhaps? No, just takes his damage here. Nice tech. Just goes in for the pressure and backs off now.
Jeez. That's gonna be so tough right now.
Dude. Oh my God. You're
gonna give yourself a hernia, James. Breathe.
The best way to put it, oh my God! He was waiting for that the whole time and had the reaction, and Flaquito gets under with the slide.
That was Nephew's game to win. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was absolutely Nephew's game to win, especially with that first round. There were numerous instances where he could have gotten big whiff punishes against the Scarf. He could have played it out a little bit better, but that's just what happens, man. Flaquito, once you give him an inch, he will take that mile. But I'm not too deterred. Yeah, I think Nephew going back into the Cody makes sense. You see the big similarities between this character and Colleen, right? They have such menacing medium normals. And then once you get into that state of D-Trigger, their normals are enhanced in range. Very, very similar archetypes. And I think just Cody just has the better of the draw because the damage output is just so significant. And it leads to, with Bar, you lead to so many plus frame scenarios where you have to guess the team.
Yeah, I'm so stressed out and I'm not even playing.
All right, Street Fighter 6, James. Keep it down.
Oh, throws him out of the heavy kick. Oh, got him. Here we go. Big combo. It's so crazy that Rose just has these like super combos into setups like this. Gets the counter hit, but too far away. He went for crouching strong instead of crouching medium kick. That didn't combo. Was that just a late cancel on that?
I didn't get to see what the normal was. I didn't get to see what normal Nephew used first.
Again, the slide. Oh my God, it's so risky.
Oh, the overhead is blocked! Oh,
Oh
no.
my God,
Flaquito
Flaquito.
with the reactions and the awareness to even try to go for that. Oh my God, or at least know that it's coming, as you say. What a smart decision. What a reaction to this guy is phenomenal.
Oh,
I've used
no.
that word
Wait.
so many times already.
Crouching strong? Crouching strong? That's not, like I said, that's an alpha anti-air. Not a Street Fighter V anti-air. Unless you're Rashid, I guess. Or Jury. Okay, the pressure with the knife. Or poison. Oh, poison. Jeez, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Oh, just stabs him with the knife. And now trying to get the challenge. Not spending the meter on the EX though. Not gonna get the follow-up, but the throw. Just one more hit. Low. Ah!
In true Rose fashion, getting people with the normal that shall not be named. The standing medium kick catches everybody. It truly does.
It's so good. It's so good to have a move like that. You know, I talked about Luke suppression having a move that just counters throws like that. Rose the same thing, but again, that's always been one of her trademarks. Again, Filipino man used to just abuse the hell out of that move in Street Fighter 4, and they gave it back to her in this game, and it still works. And there you go. Flaquito eliminating Nephew out of the tournament, and Flaquito is gonna move on to go up against Jot in losers finals.
That's rough. That's actually kind of rough. Like, if it isn't one person, it's another, right? You have world-class player Nephew who's been on the big stage numerous times, and the one time he actually doesn't make it is because of having to face off against the Army of Roses. I feel like that's something that's not common, right? That's not a very common thing to say, right? Nephew had to fall short against Filipino man's Rose in various tournaments, even today, right, in the winner's side, and then even more so again against Flaquito. But it's the Tournament of Roses is what it really is when it comes to the West Coast.
It's the Rose Parade. Is that what we're doing
is.
here? We're not quite at New Year's yet,
Not
right?
yet.
So, but I mean, I guess it's fitting here. So, oh man. But you see right there, Chris CCH in grand finals waiting for Flaquito or Jot to find out who he's going to be going up against. Of course, he already defeated Jot 3-1. Chris CCH hasn't faced Flaquito. What, did they face each other in the early part of the... No, Flaquito lost to JB early. That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So yeah,
Oh,
Jot
man.
versus Flaquito. That's something that's going to be pretty familiar if you guys have been tuning in for a lot of the West Coast action. Again, Jot has just been the premier player, just coming out of, like, I feel like having such great exponential progression, not progression per se, but like improvement overall from where he was at before with his Manat into playing off against a numerous amount of characters and numerous talented players. We're starting to see all of his hard work come to this very moment, but to be very difficult, right? He has the task of having to take down Flaquito, and if he moves on, either player, whoever moves on, has to face off against Chris CCH in the most advantageous position possible. But speaking of taking advantage of certain things, right? The Matcherino with a direct contribution, actually all the coupons are already done with, right? So you can't take advantage of that anymore, but there are still some Twitch quests on the right side, being able to follow certain people, certain Twitch streamers, such also Twitters as well. You can see Boss. I think Boss is there 2 times over. What a cheater, man.
I know, right? Well, it's one's Twitch, one's Twitter.
One's Twitch
over
and
there.
one's Twitter. That's right. Yeah, but Boss, be sure to follow him either way.
I definitely, again, want to give out, again, a shout out. Tim Hancock with the $50 contribution. Punk to God with the $20 contribution. Shout out to
25 cents. $20.25.
And Punk is now, of course, a Capcom Cup qualified player. Rainbow Six with $20 there. Soulfist with $15. That boy Lazo with $10 donation there. Goddamn, I'm free. I think that's his full name.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, $10. And actually, Punk to God with another $10 contribution.
Let's go.
So he's actually contributed $30 directly through direct contributions. So shout outs to Mr. Punk to God. And here we go. Flaquito and Jot. Is it gonna be Flaquito with this crazy run? Is he gonna be a thorn in another player's side, or is Jot armor gonna be taking victory here?
It's going to be kind of close to call. You know, Jot has had the better record against Flaquito every single World Warrior event. It's been by very convincing numbers. So this is looking like it right now. I don't think the Jot armor needs to be put on. He's just playing himself. The Cody is just too powerful. Again, we've seen how close it came down to Nephew and Flaquito with that Cody. Jot, a whole different player to mess with, and you see him locked and loaded with that Zonk, EX Zonk attack. The more time you give him, the more of a problem it'll be. What a call out from Flaquito with the backdash. That could have been so problematic if there was a big counter hit.
God, and you see the range of Cody. I talk about it a lot. Oh, and throwing. Yep, again, not throw invul. So not that good of a wake-up EX compared to some others. Gets him with the shimmy. Jot is going to take game number 1 in pretty dominant fashion here. Shout-outs to Shen Khan as well in the chat there. Thank you for the love. Appreciate it.
I see you, big homie.
Players from all around the world checking in to make sure to see who is qualifying
Legendary
into the Capcom Cup.
Legendary TO from way across the pond towards the edge. Much love to you, man. Good to see you in the chat. And I will say, look at this. Jot already starting things off with a hammer kick. Trying to deliberately bait a normal from Flaquito by delaying some of these crouching medium punches. And again, Flaquito slowly working his way through. That's a counter hit, and the screen shook at the same time. Man, that was impactful.
Yep. Yeah, you can always tell if it's a level 2 Zonk Knuckle if the screen shakes. However, on block, of course, the frame data doesn't change. So even if it's a regular Zonk, oh, nice V-shift to get out of that mix-up. Ooh.
Look at the damage.
Now we got Arturo in the house here as well, trying to see who is qualifying.
What a whiff punish. That's something that Nephew was missing in his kit. The ability to maintain focus and whiff punish some of the longer normals that Rose has, especially that scarf, right? That standing heavy punch lingers for a little bit of extra time. That medium punch from Cody is more than enough to get at least that hit to connect, as well as a ruffian, medium kick ruffian at that. That was very, very well placed.
Jot has been playing so well with these normals. Again, I mean, it's not a question. It's not a coincidence that a lot of these strong characters that we're seeing, Rose, Cody, and Luke, you know, with the great range on the normals, man. It's just you get such an advantage in the neutral. But Flaquito right now is really dominating this neutral this round. Oh, the soul spirals all finding their marks.
It's a whole different round, a whole different story from Flaquito. As if you weren't absolutely dominated in the first game, fighting right back, getting the second round, and that looked like a near perfect too. But look at the amount of meter below, right? One of the things I'm concerned about is how Flaquito is going to spend that first bar. There it is. Yeah, just trying to be a big deterrent. EX Soul Spark to make his way through and keep Jot stuck. Look at this. Yeah, you already knew it was coming. Flaquito, he was just sitting there. He was totally waiting for it. That's one bar down.
Big chilling.
That's
oh, nice! Down. You can't neutral jump these fireballs. What a backdash by Jot, but didn't get the level 2 EX Zonk. So not going to quite be able to have the combo extension off of that. But he's got the trigger activated. So scary. Oh my god. Practicing his stabbing right now.
Such close closet space. It's going to be a good look. Flaquito, again, he's stuck in this corner.
The V-trigger's out. V-trigger's out. And Flaquito has his V-trigger ready to go. Challenges with the target combo. Goes for the low. 2 lows in a row. And Jot just being patient. Oh, that. Oh, no. No. Did he push a button? He did not. I can't believe Jot bet it all on that. So in a flubbed situation like
Flaquito was the one that bet it all, by the way.
Oh, sorry, you're right. I can't believe Flaquito bet it all there. Because usually in these scrambly situations, people tend to get scared and block a lot more in flubbed situations. It didn't feel like it was one of those I need my comeback aggressive kind of moments. So I don't know if that was necessarily the right call, but you know, if it had worked, we probably would have been talking about what kind of a genius he is. So it's all good.
If it hits, you're a genius. If it doesn't, sucks to suck, man.
It's always the NBA Jam, man. Throws up a brick. It's good.
Wait, what? I totally
NBA
forgot about
Jam.
that sequencing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh man, it always happened. Throws up a brick. It's good.
That is a classic.
Oh man. It's with the freaking computer rubber band. It shot everything and it always went in. Oh, there's the punish on the sweep.
Did we get the frame trap in? Oh boy.
Oh, shimmy. Got him with the shimmy. Look at this damage. Holy.
Jeez.
Where did the life go? I mean, it would have been a stun regardless, but still.
That
Where
rapid
did
fire, it tacks on a significant amount of damage, man. Oh, you thought he could punish it? No, that was the tail end of the ruffians. John had actually baited out Flaquito into going into a punish.
Oh, dude, you see Cody right there being like, no big deal. Here we go, try to getting out of the corner over here. Jot preventing him from trying to get out of the corner. Ooh. Yeah, is it 2-0 right now? Is it 2-0 in favor of Jot? I'm not sure. I can't remember now. It's, oh, nice. Counter to that. And there we go. So we'll find out what the score is here now.
I don't think it should have been 2-0 from the side of Jot, was it?
I am not sure.
I was looking at the action, but at the same time, it's like, I don't recall it being fully in Jot's favor.
Okay.
No word from the TO on that? That's what to say.
Well, I mean, look, Flaquito just bounced. So I think that's it. I think it was a 3-0 for Jot in that match. So there you go.
Yeah,
Jot with the domination.
Round. It looked like it was yeah, it looked like there was certain moments where Flaquito was shining, but at the same time it was like, you know, there's something about the way that Jot's been performing. It's been pretty consistent. So there it is. Yeah, he didn't need anything else to say in regards to how he's performing. That's 3-0 straight. Jot Armor fully equipped now to face off against the man who helped get him here. It's Chris CCH.
Yeah, this one's going to be the rough one here because, again, you know, as we explain all the time, Jot is coming from loser's bracket. He needs to win 2 sets of best of 5. He needs to send Chris CCH to losers to be able then to eliminate him. But Chris CCH was the one who sent Jot to losers in the winners finals 3-1. So this is definitely going to be a tough one. But again, how strong is this Jot Armor? Was him going to losers bracket all part of the plan from He Who Remains to show the strength of winning 2 sets in a row in grand finals? Is this gonna happen? Let's find out.
It's kind of tough to call too. Chris CCH has had such a dominant run from back to back World Warrior events, but specifically against Jot, right? He has fallen short in grand finals. We have seen that reset happen from previous World Warriors. So if the reset does happen, I wouldn't be too surprised. If the 3-0 does happen from Chris CCH, I also wouldn't be too surprised. Those are the two extremes, right? I feel like those are the two extremes. But in one way or another, I feel like it's going to be a close match. Down to the rounds, I should say.
I forget. They didn't say, right? Like, if whoever wins this, do they get to unlock the colors for that character as well? But I mean, Cody and Luke have both been unlocked already, so it doesn't matter at this point.
They do not. I think that was a CPT exclusive deal. With
right.
the
Okay.
qualifier.
Okay. Ooh, there we go. Activation time. And you can see Jot being very aggressive, trying to poke with those buttons, trying to stop the Chris CCH forward movement. But that's why Chris CCH then went to the whip punish. That's the footsie's triangle, man. Oh, and Chris CCH tried to steal a turn after blocking that EX Zonk.
Oh my god.
Oh!
He tried to reload in front of him.
Smasher.
Oh, you're
oh
dead!
My god,
You're
the
out
crush.
dead! You didn't even need to spin the bar!
He knew he only had to spend the 1 EX for the kill, but again, you see the kind of combos that Luke gets off of, you know, max range crush counters. He gets some beefy combos on those situations. The damage output from that character is crazy.
Without a doubt. But the same can be said with Cody, right? He is an absolute beast when it comes to the strike throw game, the counter kick. Look.
Yeah, because you're dead. You're dead. This is perfect right here. Jot coming right back at Chris CCH going, oh, okay, James, you want to talk about damage? Let me show you what damage is all about. Ooh.
Cody is definitely
a single hit confirmed.
Especially with the meter as well. I think there's a lot to be said with the meter that can be used from the side of Cody. I think he's able to initiate offense a little bit better too with the yes, Chris CCH. A lot of the projectiles have been like the bane of a lot of characters' existence in terms of walking up. But that was such a brave call out from Chris CCH.
Yeah. And there we go, Jot getting the throw, trying to catch him. But yeah, you see there the EX Zonk Knuckle, you know, kind of like a given for the V reversal for a lot of player strategy. We've seen that in the past, you know, early seasons when players like Justin and such would V reversal Mika's drop kick every single time.
Yep.
Just don't want to deal with the mix-up. Same thing with the EX Zonk Knuckle. And so Chris CCH taking it there with the jump in. 1-0 for Chris CCH.
Not too bad of a start. Again, one of the biggest fears that some of these players have against Cody is being able to contest against the Zonk Knuckle. But Chris CCH has done a pretty good job of minimizing the damage, or at least trying to like really assess the risks. I saw that, James. That was
Don't mind me.
I was distracted.
Oh, there's that again, the whip punish, crouch medium kick into the DP. And here's the back throw for Jot though. Trying to bait out something from Chris CCH, but too far away to really provide that kind of a threat.
Although I will say again, once you hit Cody enough to give him some of that meter, that's where the real game starts.
Yeah.
Ooh, he tried to sway? He definitely tried to sway.
And here we go. Goes for the ruffian kick here. Oh no, raw activation. Yeah, that means Chris CCH, it's his turn. And here we go. Went for the throw last time he walked under. That's why he went for the button that time. But the single hit confirmed, but he didn't go into the super. He's saving the meter. He can chip to death at this point. And I think that's why Jot got hit, because he knew it was going to be light kick DP into super. However...
No, he caught him with crouching medium kick. He caught him walking backwards.
Oh, he did? Okay,
yeah, he caught him walking backwards. So that would have been...
Gotcha.
Yeah, Chris CCH, that would have been checkmate no matter what on hit or block.
Right.
It was fortunate enough for Chris to catch an actual hit.
Right, like if I was Jot, it's just like, you know what, block it, take the chip, make him lose all of his meter, because it was a checkmate situation. Oh, he read it this time! Okay, the stun, and again, how much damage can Cody do? Look at this. Oh, he just goes into the super. He wants the round. He does not want to mess around here. Look at this, 50% damage combo here from Jot. Woo.
Granted, there was a stun involved, but that's still a hell of a lot of damage. And that wasn't even over. That went past the life point.
And there you go. Fishing with that. Leads right into that stand light punch. It's so good. But Jot, target combo, back throw into the corner.
Oh,
no! Walked into the whip OS range. Caused Jot to accidentally ruffian kick. Not a whip punish. And again, that V reversal to stop the EX Zonk.
Knock down the ulti.
That was what he was supposed to do last time. Remember when he did that crouch fierce and it just missed and nothing afterwards? Didn't just miss the ruffian kick somehow.
Oh! Walk up in the range, get in the throw. Lost frames. Yeah, I love the V reversal out of there.
Get out of there. Oh, just get stabbed in the face. Oh my god, he didn't go. He didn't believe. He didn't believe. Oh, he got him with the cross up. No!
Yeah, for Chris ECH. Again, we talked about it earlier.
For sure.
For Cody, it's so difficult to even try to get an anti-air. And even so, like, you can't cross-cut anything. Cody doesn't have those capabilities. He doesn't have a DP. Right. So that is the biggest opportunity Chris has to jump against or jump away from the corner against Cody at those sharp angles.
Well, here we go. Chris CCH. Tournament game here. As we've been talking about it, he is definitely the favorite coming into this West Coast tournament now. Most people acknowledge that he is the strongest in the West at this point, and you can see one of the reasons why here. Chris CCH, the decision making, and again, oh my God, the crush. Oh, it didn't hit. He might have charged the flash knuckle a little too long.
Again, fair throw. You could get the roundhouse.
Yep, and now you're so dangerous. See, that's why he keeps poking. He doesn't want to let that stun meter go down the suppressor. And Chris CCH is going to be at tournament point here with this round. One more round to go. Is it going to be a 3-0 sweep for Chris CCH?
Zonk, the big opener here from Jot. He can't let it go by the wayside. He can't let his efforts be for naught. Not for Jot, indeed. V reversal here from Chris CCH. A very tough angle to contest against. There's the crosscut DP. Back throw into the corner. This is exactly what Chris needs.
Oh gosh, and now it just goes in for the throw. Plus frames, throw. It's all Chris CCH. This pressure, he tried to go with, I think he tried to go for the suppressor, but he actually got caught on the back sway. Here we go, activation. Big damage here for Jot. He needs one more mix-up. What is it gonna be? Detect. Oh my God. Oh God, watch out for Chip.
He tries to move!
With the rock smasher, and Chris CCH with that call out is going to be your Capcom Cup qualifier, US West. Chris CCH doing it in dominating fashion.
And that is indeed the most dominant performance you could actually ever ask for, because that, ladies and gentlemen, was a clean sweep. And we've seen that, what, back-to-back times over, 2 times over from Jot against Fukido, and then Chris CCH against Jot. I think the most games that Jot has won in this tournament against Chris was only one, right? Coming in from winners finals. Again, repeated results of what had happened in World Warriors prior. But Chris CCH being the dominant player that he is, it's a big surprise that he didn't make it any sooner from his qualifying run from the CPT. But I will say it's better late than never, joining the wings of the others that have made it via World Warrior.
Did Chris CCH qualify last year? I feel like he did, right?
He did.
He qualified last year, so I think it's fitting, right? It's good. There's kind of like this, happiness that Chris CCH qualified, didn't get to actually play in the Capcom Cup. We did the exhibitions instead, but now this year, qualifying, getting to go and try to make his mark on the biggest stage for Street Fighter V. Can't be anything but happy for Chris CCH making it.
Without a doubt. I mean, there has to be a Capcom Cup where Chris CCH gets to play in, because I think there's no one more deserving in the West Coast than him. I think he's done such a phenomenal job of really trying to identify what needs to be done in his game. And I still remember that one Geico tournament that they had back in, I think it was like in San Francisco, where he actually got a big W with his Sakura. And I still remember like Sakura and Guile. I think he was using Guile at that moment too, but it was mostly Sakura. But I remember like how much of an impact he made from his beginnings, his upcomings in Street Fighter V, and where he's at currently. He just has the right idea, man. He knows exactly how to practice, and he's made himself one of the best players off of, like, not only like, humbling himself with others, but bringing himself to like put the time and effort in. So yeah, really, really, really clutch coming in from Chris CCH.
And one of the things I've got to add to that, though, is again, shout outs to Chris's parents as well, because we know the role that they have put into supporting Chris CCH. He's a young kid, and they, you know, saw that he had this talent here. They nurtured it. I think it was his mother who drove him to all the events early on and really supported it. And, you know, honestly, look, I'm an old kid, right? People thought video games rotted your brain, right? So, like, you know, back in my time, my parents were like, stop playing video games. But, like, having your parents be able to support you like that has got to be a wonderful thing, right, Chris? It's got to feel good to have your parents support that kind of a passion that you have.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I'm happy you brought it up, actually, because I remember last year when I qualified for Capcom Cup, I brought this up, but my interview was actually, it was like record and upload after, and they didn't include the segment where I shout out my mom for everything that you had just mentioned. I was like, so I like told her, I gave her a shout out, and then the video came up, and she was like, I didn't see you ever talk about me. It just wasn't there. So
you ungrateful child. I brought you into this world, and you leave me hanging on the biggest stage possible, huh? No, I'm totally kidding, but that's rough.
Man.
I gotta talk to somebody about that one. We'll make sure that never happens again, Chris. But first and foremost, man, welcome and congratulations. You've had such a dominant run in the entirety of the World Warrior events, man. Now that it's pretty much finally over for those monthly grinds, like, who are you looking forward to playing the most over in Capcom Cup?
Yeah, it's really exciting to actually know I'm going to be there for sure. It's definitely scary to have the qualification right at the end of the season. I've been on uncertainty for so long, especially it was either going to be right at the end or right at the beginning, because our CPT was at I think the very first CPT had happened. So yeah, it's great to be in here now. As far as people I'm most looking forward to playing, I think a big one would be Ending Walker, who just qualified.
Yes.
We're both obviously pretty young players, so I think it's only fitting. I've never played him before, so I think it would be pretty fun to play him. Sick.
I mean, you know, speaking, you did talk about, you know, your age here. You're the one, you know, mentioning that you're a very young player, obviously, here. But, I mean, how does that feel, right? You are a young player here, and you are basically entering this Capcom Cup full of all these veterans and everything like that. I mean, does it feel like you're kind of overwhelmed, out of place, or are you just looking to beat some old men down, you know, old players down at Capcom Cup at this point?
I think maybe at another time would have felt kind of out of place for me, but I think at this point I've gained quite a bit of experience, at least throughout Street Fighter V. I'm getting to play in high-level competitions, like obviously Street Fighter League is a big one. The Capcom Pro Tour Finals last year, it was obviously nothing like Capcom Cup. It was just one match. Evo's another one. I had a really long run at Evo this year. So, and Red Bull Kumite back in 2021. So I think I've gotten quite a few opportunities now to like compete at a high level against other really strong players. So I think by now I've kind of gotten used to it. I'm just really excited to kind of close out Street Fighter V, because I'm definitely going into the Capcom Cup with a similar mentality I came into in this tournament, which is I don't care too much about what happens. I just want to kind of showcase all the work I put into the game over these long, like, 6 or so years of playing. So especially considering it's coming to a close, I just want to make sure that I leave everything off the table and just showcase everything that I've worked towards.
And I do want to ask you just that, if there's like a TLDR version, because I know we have limited time here, but one of the biggest things that I do see is some of these top players that kind of have their limelight in the early phases of the game. I feel like sometimes they can plateau, and I never really get to see these kind of results or this kind of progression that you have. Your growth has been absolutely exponential. Like, you've pretty much exploded back onto the scene. Like, you had a little glimpse of greatness, like, oh man, he is definitely on the map. And then literally year after year after year, it's like, dude, Chris CCH is blowing everybody up. Can you kind of talk about like that process a little bit to kind of give us an insight as to what you did to put yourself where you are in terms of the competitive light? Because you talked about all the hard work you've put in, how many times you've played against some of these pro players, but I feel like there hasn't been a single red light for you in your trip thus far. It's been nothing but green, and you've been going.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is honestly pretty simple. Just keep working at it every day. Like, don't. Obviously, I'll take breaks occasionally, like a few weeks breaks. But ever since I started playing this game when it came out, up until now, I've never taken like a serious extended break. Or if I'm not playing the game, like for a while, actually, just a couple months ago, I took like about a 2-3 week break. but it's very intentional, and I was still thinking about the game while that was going on. I wasn't actually practicing because I felt like my mindset was just not in a good place back then. So that was so the break was something very intentional for me to kind of reset my mentality.
Okay.
And I think it was a really good idea. I think now I'm going into the match with a lot better mentality. So that was a really positive thing. But overall, when I'm not taking breaks like that, I mean, I just keep playing every day. It doesn't have to be a lot. Some days maybe I'll just play an hour, and it doesn't have to be high level practice. I mean, I just play ranked, but there's always at least something I'm working on. I'm always playing. I'm also always watching the game. That's another really big thing. Like, you saw my match against Jot, the Cody matchup specifically. I learned like an insane amount of that from Tokido. Watching Tokido play against Japan.
Yep.
He taught me like literally everything of the match, but I know it's thanks to Tokido. I have to thank this entire win to Tokido.
You gotta thank at least some of the Cody players in Japan too. Momochi had
the Cody players too.
You gotta thank
Momochi,
and John Takuchi, Nauman, you know.
But I mean, you're obviously playing very lights out style Street Fighter, as we just saw here during this interview here. But also, talk to me about the group, the crew that you have here, right? Talk to me about how much it helps having this dedicated crew of players, and how you guys are learning all the strongest characters and just studying the matchups. You know, first of all, you know, give it, if you want to, give a shout outs to all the crew, or just be like, whatever, I beat them all, who cares? But like, you know, talk to me about how much the crew has helped you here in becoming this level of player.
Yeah, definitely shout outs to all of them. Anton, Flakido, and Jot, of course, all of them in the top 8 was great to see. They've helped me out a ton. I think what's kind of fun, we actually don't really play against each other all that often, but we hang out like a lot outside the game, and we also talk about the game a lot, especially me and Jot. Jot's another person who watches a lot of the game. Like Anton and Flakido, not quite as much, but Jot is someone who's watching the game a lot, especially in Japan. So we would always talk about like Japan SFL matches. So kind of talking about the game, I think that's honestly a lot more important, because you can play the game against someone a lot and not really learn much unless you guys are being very intentional in the way that you're practicing. So it's fun to play them and everything. I do learn a lot playing them, but kind of having those people to talk to about the game, I think is really the most important thing.
Totally agree with that. You don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, big shout outs to you, and big congratulations for grinding it out for the last 5 months. Any final words you have for your competitors, for yourselves, for your family, or even just people viewing in?
Yeah, man, I do want to shout out my parents one other time, because like I said, didn't get to do it last time. Gotta make sure it's drilled in this time. Shout outs to my mom. James Chen put it really well. Everything she's done for me. She definitely did like every tournament up until 2020.
Yep.
Every single tournament I was at was thanks to her pretty much. So I would absolutely never be in this position if not for her immense support for me pursuing this whole thing. Shout out to my dad as well. Also incredibly supportive. He actually donated $50 for the match Rio tonight. So thank you for that. Thank you
Back
for the
into
Christmas
your
present.
pocket, huh? I like that.
Some of it's going to the other competitors still. It's not split 100% the first place. So it's still an early Christmas gift to some of the other competitors, but I am getting the majority. So thank you for that, guys.
That's your allowance. It's not even Christmas. That's your allowance.
I know, your dad walks in, Merry Christmas, you're not getting anything else now.
You might have to add another acronym to TSM. It has to be TSM DAD Chris CCH. That's gonna be how it works. That's how it's worked.
I have to add my mom there too.
And mom, exactly.
It's gonna be a long title.
Big congratulations to you, Chris. I'll be hitting you up soon. Definitely this weekend. We got to get some sets going. Street Fighter 6 right around the corner. But yo, I'm looking forward to seeing how you play in Capcom Cup. One of my favorite players, again, should be one of your favorite players as well, Chris CCH, throwing it down yet again. Our final words here. Again, we do appreciate you guys going into the long journey of 5 months for the West Coast. James, any closing thoughts on your end?
I mean, just congratulations. And I love seeing this. I love seeing the growth, and I love seeing, you know, the young players coming in here and doing the damage. Because again, you know, I tell the story all the time. Before Street Fighter 4, I really felt like we weren't getting any new players in here, and to see the young players like yourself, like Ending Walker, make it into Capcom Cup is absolutely a joy for me. So congratulations, well played, and good luck at Capcom Cup.
Thank you.
We'll see you back in SoCal. We'll see everybody else at the next World Warrior events. There's still a couple more qualifiers, especially Japan, going in throughout the month of December. In the meantime, keep playing that Street Fighter V. Keep being safe and keep being good to each other. We'll see you all for the next one. Take care. Peace.